Boom, 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 boom. All right. What? All right. Well, anyway, rewind the clock. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Slice of Shonen Podcast. I am your host on the boat, Sailor. And this week is going to be a big one. I guess we have like a quote-unquote full podcast. We still don't have Black Clover yet, but we are back here to talk about 4 chapters this week. Really excited. We have some very high highs this week. And oh boy, do we have some low lows, man. This feels like it'll be a fun podcast. We're going to get into it. Hopefully you guys are enjoying this, whether you're watching it live or after the fact. We appreciate you. But of course, I am not here by myself. I am here with my Ensemble of Excellence. Let me go through the list here. We have the Cookin' Taco. We have the Ty. We have the Silver. We have the me. Hey, how's it going? And of course, the Zenith Anime Manga, whose channel is featured down below, along with his Patreon. Make sure you guys go check both of those out. Subscribe to them both if you can, Patreon-wise anyway. The YouTube channel is free. You have no excuse. You should do that. Also, Zenith was just featured in a lovely video by our friend Adam, a.k.a. Jigga. He's not here today. But his channel is linked down below in the description. Make sure you guys go check that out. Subscribe to his channel as well. Show all the love to the Ensemble of Excellence here, man. We appreciate you guys. But anyway, fellas, is there anything you'd like to say to the people before we get started, before I start reading these comments here?
Watch Dune 2. Really good. Saw it like the other night. That's good. That's cinema, right?
Yeah.
It's a very good movie.
I have to watch the first one first, but, you know, we'll get around it too. But, yeah, let me look through some of these comments. Kazemaru saying, wait, why is Kagurabachi in the title? I didn't know it was on the roster. Yes, it was part of the roster ever since last week. This is still very much a new development, but, you know, enough people have wanted it. Plus, we really like talking about the series already, so, you know, figured it was only about time. Let me read through the rest of these. Shout out to the first comment here that just says, hey, I appreciate that, man. Shouts out to you.
Sometimes you gotta get it started.
Yeah, right. You know, sometimes everything starts with one. In this case, it starts with one letter. I respect that. Weary Exile dropping a couple of comments here. Let me look through some of these, saying, welcome back to the exceedingly excellent Ensemble of Experts rated E for everyone. Alliteration. I like that. W Mans. Then goes on to say, guys, don't you like it when the story focuses so much on the fighting mechanics and nuances of its battle system to the point where characters become just the means for action instead of like an actual story? God, you are preaching to the choir right now, man. Listen, I won't read the rest of these just because, trust me, Weary Exile, we are going to get into it. We are going to get into it. So trust, we'll probably come back to these later. Zero, the strongest hater of today, saying, Weary Exile, truly speaking facts about this chapter. I can feel the sarcasm through the screen. True. I respect it. Also, Ensemble of Lateness yet again, not arriving on time as expected. Not true. Fake news. False information. We arrive on time, man. What can we say? Sailor is truly a fraudulent host. Also not true. Also fake news, man. What the hell? My washed goat Zenith better be standing on business. What are you feeling about that, Zenith? Are you standing on business today?
What did I do to be anyone's washed goat? Like, what the fuck did I do, man? You know, where did I go wrong in my life? That's my title. Yeah, like that's what it is. If I'm entering my fight, like that's my epithet. Like that's not.
Bro,
Oh no.
The wash to go is crazy.
Bro, you started promoting greens on this podcast. I don't know why you
Mm.
but like I don't know why you keep doing that every
It's
week.
just a nice color. I don't like the series.
Man, shut the fuck up about that green shit. Real Shonen came back this week. Gurui Dragon Boys, we are back! Yes!
Yeah.
Yes!
Yeah. I still gotta read that. No one sees shit.
Let's fucking go!
Don't fucking say anything. I didn't realize Ruby Dragon was back. Holy
Listen,
shit!
the
What the hell?
sailor effect has kicked back
Has it been
in.
like 2 years? How
It's
long
been
has it been?
forever,
Hold on,
bro.
I'm looking at this right now.
I
Let's
think
see.
it
Yeah,
has
it
been
has.
about like a year and a
Chapter
half.
6 came out in July 24th of 2022.
Woo!
Wow.
Almost 2 years.
Dude,
Almost 2 years.
I will say, of course, no spoilers for the chapter. The gang has not read it yet. The art, I mean, as you can expect, got much better after a fucking 2-year time skip. So that was really cool to see. Glad to hear the author is feeling better now. Shouts out, man. I was really happy to see this chapter back. I heard rumors of it coming back soon. I didn't think we'd get it this soon. It's awesome, man. Check out Ruri
It
Dragon if you
reminded
haven't.
me, because I did read the chapter. I'm not going to spoil what happened, but I did read the chapter, and I'll be honest, when I first read Ruri Dragon, I remember everyone was making a big deal about it, and I read it, and I was like, oh, this is really good. This is nice. I like it. And then it went away for a long time, and I kind of forgot about it. But after reading the new chapter, I remembered why I like it so much, and why I think a lot of people like it is the dialogue is just real, like, snappy. Like,
Yeah.
I like the characters when they're talking to each other is fun.
Mm-hmm.
It really gets you engaged in what's happening. It's really nice.
For sure, man. I definitely agree. Like I said, read Ruri Dragon if you haven't already. It's very good, and it's only 7 chapters, so it's not very long. Let me look through some of these more. Sailor is never late, nor is he early. He arrives precisely when he means to. That's for fucking true, Kazemaru. Ruri Dragon is back. Finally, someone is here who can defeat Sukuna. God, finally. Finally, man. But anyway, because this next comment here is looking like the first chapter we're going to be talking about this week. We're going to start off on a positive note here, chat. Because things will really go left later on. I ain't going to lie. We're going to start off on a positive note. We're going to talk about the things that we like this week. One New Piece, chapter 1109. Guys, how are we feeling about this one?
It's
Go ahead, Zena.
what a chapter.
Man, I mean-
like, we have a break next, right?
Yeah, we do.
Unfortunately.
That's the
What
painful
a
part of this
chapter for a break on. Oh my god.
This shit is torture,
I'm
bro.
gonna laugh so much if, like, next chapter it's just like, yeah, we didn't want to fuck with that, man. You're on your own, dude. They don't come.
Oda's joining. Yeah, no, Oda is joining Vegapunk on that coffee break.
How do you guys, speaking of Vegapunk, coffee break, stuff like that, how do you guys feel about the time limit? Because I know that's been a very I guess contentious topic in the community, at least like from today. I've seen a lot of people debating about if this is good or not, if we should have just jumped right into what the news is going to be. How do you guys feel about it?
I think it's important because once that news goes out, it's kind of just whatever happens from that point, things are going to be different. Whether it's the world learning about something we already know or us learning about it alongside with them, things are going to be different. I imagine that how the GOROSEI handle the situation will also be affected by this. So this gives us a bit of time with the current situation. This lets us see what Luffy's going to do as he tries to survive and protect his crew in that time. I think it's like this is going to be the test for him, is can he make it through these 10 minutes until the situation shifts for whatever reason. Because like I said, things are going to shift for whatever reason when that info is revealed. We don't know how, but that time limit's important. So right now, I mean, I'm just happy to see more Gear 5 fun in the meantime, right? I'm excited to see what the GOROSEI are going to do. I'm excited to see what their Devil Fruits are going to be like. This 10 minutes is just an artificial way to sort of keep this going, which I am not going to complain about because what's happening is really cool.
Yeah. It's just a way to build more tension because now there's a time when it's like Luffy has to survive for 10 minutes until whatever
Whatever
Vegapunk says, happens.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm fine with the time limit. I think the 10 minutes is arbitrary. The time limit itself doesn't matter that much. Obviously,
Yeah.
you don't want it to be too unrealistic. It couldn't have been like an hour, but like really, like Zena said, it's just an artificial way to build tension and keep the current situation going while building up to the big reveal, whatever that is.
Also, this
You
is
know.
going to be a good test for Luffy. Because it's like,
Yeah.
I think the biggest issue with Gear 5 so far is an issue that he always has whenever he has a new thing is low stamina. So he's going to have to start lasting with this. And like really trying to hold it together and keep fighting. Because I mean, he's kind of just messing around with Kizaru earlier, but he needed a snack break after like a few minutes. Like it wasn't great.
Yeah,
it
that's
was
true.
not the best showing on his part.
I mean, that is true. The biggest issue with Gear 5 right now is just a sheer stamina drain. And as much as we've been ragging on the Gorosei, trying to tangle with 5 of these guys is definitely going to be a huge drain on that. So for 10 minutes, it's going to be a challenge for sure.
Yeah.
Saturn. The biggest thing with Saturn right now for Luffy is like
He doesn't know how to hit
Saturn's
him.
not hurting Luffy. Yeah, because he's not really getting any hits or attacks off. But Luffy can't hurt him either.
Yeah.
Because Luffy is hitting him, but he's literally just not staying down.
Not doing it.
Yeah, so once we see the other Gorosei, this is definitely going to be a real tough challenge for Luffy. Because I've seen it. I think the biggest compliment I could give Oda for this situation is it's gotten people so engrossed in what's happening. People are so invested that so many people are like completely glossing over a lot of the smaller details. And that's a good thing because you want to, as a writer, you want to set up these little things that play out later, but you don't want people to be like just expecting it the entire time. Because then there's no fun, there's no reveal, there's no twist, there's no shock when it happens. Because a lot of people are like, well, how the fuck is Luffy going to get out of this situation? Like, how is he going to get away? Like, how does the Straw Hats, like, how do they survive this? Are they going to come back and help him? Like, what's going to happen? And I really like that because it makes it fun seeing everyone speculating on what's going to happen next. The way I kind of see things playing out, I think Luffy's going to fight the Gorosei, and he's going to hold them off for the 10 minutes or whatever, and then he'll probably run out of stamina. And then Dory and Bragi will probably help him escape, and then the ancient robot will come up and probably take on the Gorosei and like distract them while he gets away. Something to that effect. And I think the Straw Hats are going to kind of split up for now. They're going to the same location, but they're going to be kind of split because Frankie and them are on with the Giants, and I think Luffy will also be with the Giants on their ship, and then the Straw Hats are going to be on the Sunny. But they're going to the same location, so they'll meet back up once they get there.
Yeah, I was also thinking about the Straw Hats sort of splitting up temporarily, and how interesting that would be. One thing that I've heard, well, I guess I should give my thoughts since I asked the question. I'm fine with the time limit. I think it's okay. I like how Vegapunk was just immediately like, all right, guys, I'm about to tell y'all everything. And Shaka was like, whoa, wait a minute. Hold on. We should probably like wait and let people set up. So unless there's no visual shit that's going on, like, there has to be a visual to go with it. If it's literally just him giving an exposition dump, then it's like, okay, well then why did we set this up? But yeah, if it's going to be some visual stuff of just like what's going on and like the world being run by demons essentially, then that's definitely going to be interesting. But yeah, I think for sure that Luffy is going to hold off the Gorosei for these 10 minutes. Shout out to Sleeping Dangerous, kind of gets into what I was going to talk about. We appreciate the donation. Thank you. Luffy needs new wings. These chicken wings ain't it, bro. Listen, Zoro, you got to finish up that fight, buddy. you got to finish up that fight right now. Sanji, listen, man, drop the dead man. It's time to go. we need help right now. Or at least somebody do something. Because, like, man, if Luffy takes on all 5 of the Gorosei, that is so crazy. I mean, I'm with it. Luffy, that's my GOAT, my glorious king. If he's really about, even if it is just holding him off for 10 minutes, the fact that he can, like, do that now is crazy, if that's where we're going.
I actually think it's smarter for them not to get involved.
You think so?
Yeah, because that's what happened in Sabaody. What happened in Sabaody was Kuma showed up, no one knew what to do, and then people kept trying to attack Kuma. Like Sanji was like, "Fuck this, get out! I'm gonna attack him," and then he disappeared. And then Frankie tried to attack him, he disappeared. It's like they need to escape, not fight.
Mm-hmm.
Luffy is going to distract them, and he can do that because he's strong enough now. I think if they all start getting involved, now Zoro also needs to escape, and then Sanji also needs to escape. It's like, if they just escape now, and then only Luffy needs to escape. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I especially see where you're coming from, because I guess, quick side tangent, Zoro and Lucci is now a very important fight, because they're up in the Labo phase, right? Where the thing is being broadcast. Mm-hmm. That's fucking huge. If they are.
Where they're at.
Yeah.
Well, I think this is like one criticism. This is one criticism of this arc that I think is just completely I disagree with. I've seen so many people be like, what like the Straw Hats are being sidelined. What's the point of Luffy's crew? They don't do anything. Like Luffy gets way too much screen time in comparison to the Straw Hats. And I think the screen time thing is maybe a bit more understandable. But I think what people are glossing over is like the Straw Hats are literally completely on top of this situation right now. Vegapunk got fucked up. That's true. But things could have been so much worse.
Yeah.
Like they're taking on like they're taking on an army bigger than a Buster Call.
I was about to say, this is a literal war, bro. Yeah.
And an admiral and a Gorosei. And like this is a big conflict. And the Straw Hats, in my mind, are showing that they are a Yonko crew, very capable, especially because they're going to win.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they're going to escape. They're going to win. They're going to escape. So it's like, I don't think the Straw Hats are underperforming at all.
I think the Straw Hats being as competent, I'm sorry to cut you off.
They're doing extremely well. It's like, could we have seen Sanji kick Kizaru one more time? Sure, that would have been cool. But I don't think that means Sanji is like fumbling or anything. Like,
yeah, I think the Straw Hats being like as competent as they are in this situation is definitely like it's proving to me, like you were saying, Taco, like damn, things could be way worse right now. But like, especially with all the like the plays they're coming up with, the help that they're getting, stuff like that, like just their, I guess, like their good faith coming back around to help them out. Like, I don't know. It's I don't really feel like the Straw Hats are like underperforming, you know, like it's I don't think they need fights to like perform well in an arc.
They have suffered losses in this conflict, but that's just the result of the odds being like so high, so stacked against them. Like the stakes are so high right now. It's like this is hard, right? What they're going against is really difficult to deal with. So they're not just completely like winning, but also I feel like that's kind of one of the problems with Onigashima is like
it was completely on their side. Yeah,
like it was like Oda was on their side. Like,
there was I was about to say
at every fucking corner, every time they got bailed out, whenever it was going to be a tough situation.
For sure.
So I actually think this is I think Oda's handling this much better.
Yeah, I was going to say, I was listening to Morge talk about this chapter, which as always, shout out to him. And he brought up a really good point where I totally agree with you, Taco, where throughout Wano, that old man, I forget his fucking name, the one who taught Luffy Rio, he was like, man, I don't feel like we can lose. And I was like, yeah, shit, me too. Because that's just been how it is the entire raid. Like, even with Luffy being beaten, it's like, okay, sure, you know, he's going to come back and beat Kaido. Like, I don't have any doubts about that. There was never really a time where I was just like, fuck, dude. This is getting really bad. Like, this is starting to get terrible for our guys here. But with Egghead so far, I've brought this up myself on the pod where it's literally just like, damn, man, this is crazy. And then Oda goes, yeah, watch this, little nigga, and ups the stakes like twice more. It's like, whoa. And then I'm like, okay, well, this is wild. And he's like, oh yeah, watch this. And does it again, bro. Like, it's a constant back and forth. And we even brought up, I think last week, where it's like, man, it's like the Marines are getting reverse jumped, bro. Like, they brought in this Buster Call and now they're being the ones outgunned. Now that's not the case anymore. All 5 members of the Gorosei are tapping in on this island. It's insane.
I think it's interesting because this even goes back to an earlier point in the arc where, if you guys recall, when York first betrayed, when we first learned that York betrayed Vegapunk and she was controlling the Seraphim, Sanji and Zoro and Luffy were fighting the Seraphim. Frankie was frozen. I think Usopp was frozen. Everything was going to shit. Vegapunk was missing. It was like it was a problem, right? And then we cut away to other stuff. We see Kid get fucking nuked. We see Law get defeated by Blackbeard. We see the Kobe, Garp, Aokiji stuff. We come back, and Oda purposefully, frames it this way. The way we get introduced back to the conflict at Egghead is York talking to the Gorosei, and she's like, I want this, I'm the one behind all this. And they're like, okay, what do you want right now? And she's like, please save me. And then it shows that the Straw Hats are completely in control of the situation.
Yeah.
Earlier in the series, cool. And it takes place over the course of a full night. That's like a full 12 hours or whatever that we skipped out on. Earlier in the series, that day would have been an entire arc in itself.
I was about to say, yeah.
We would have seen all the fights, we would have seen all the running around, all the bullshit, all the conflict. And you could say, like, oh, that's disappointing because I want to see the Straw Hats do stuff. They're the main characters. And I can understand that point of view, but also, we're at a point now, we're at the end of the series, the Straw Hats are competent enough. We don't need to see them do that. We've seen them do it so many times. We know that they're capable enough. And it led to a much bigger, more interesting conflict, that's happening right now. Right. So I completely disagree with this narrative that the Straw Hats are underperforming. If anything, like I said, I think they're doing really well, all things considered.
Yeah. I think it's I can totally understand the idea of just like, oh man, I want to see like a Nami fight again, because I'd love to see a Nami fight. That'd be dope. But I wouldn't say that they're underperforming in this arc.
I'm just saying that, in the previous arc, we had Kaido, whose big plan was to start this massive war, basically. And that would have involved fighting the world government. Yeah, guess who's actually fighting the world government right now? So...
the goats.
Bro never even got on stage. By comparison, they are not underperforming.
And I think to give people a little reassurance, and this is just my personal opinion, everyone, you can disagree with me if you want. I like fight.
Me too.
I'm a shonen fan. I like fights. I think fights in shonen oftentimes are some of the best parts of the series. I don't think they're always the best parts. But for One Piece specifically, it's never been my favorite aspect of the series, and I don't think it's Oda's either. I don't think fights really... How do I say this?
They're not the end-all be-all?
Harshly.
They matter, but not that much. I don't think fights to Oda are, where most of the important stuff happens.
They're not his goal with this series.
I think, in terms of, the fight itself, I think it's more of just, the climax of it. Because that's where the real emotion comes from.
And That's why
He's gotten better at it
Luffy-
for sure. Like, there's
yeah,
been a
definitely.
lot of like really cool stuff.
Yeah.
You know.
And I think that's
But
why
yeah.
Luffy gets the lion's share of the spotlight, not just because he's the main character, but that's why we see his fights usually all the time, because they are the fights that matter the most plot-wise. And Oda cares more about the plot. They're more intertwined. Whereas like Zoro versus Lucci, I'm sure that's a cool fight, but like it doesn't really matter. We don't really need to see that. So
No, I need to push my agenda.
But like I said, to reassure some people, I think for some of the because some of the Straw Hats, absolutely, I agree, should get more fights or should have more time to shine. Brook, for example, I think Brook's only gotten one fight in the entire series, like one.
Brook was the
It was
MVP
Fishman
in Whole
Island.
Cake too, man. Damn, he was cooking in
Yeah.
that arc.
I'm pretty sure, if I could be wrong, the only 1v1 fight Brook has ever gotten was in Fishman Island, and he just like won, because that was the whole point of Fishman Island, is that the Straw Hats were like, it was showing the results of their training, so it's like it wasn't like a hard fight for him at all.
He was an assist character in Wano, yeah, so that was like the
I would
only solo one he
say-
had.
I think where we're at the end of the series. That's undeniable. Now, how long we got till the end, that's anyone's guess. It could be fucking years or whatever. But I think Luffy, Zoro, Sanji, the fighters, will get probably multiple fights throughout the rest of the series. That we'll see them do cool stuff, and we'll see them, grow and get stronger. But for the people who are fans of like, I don't know how many people I'm speaking to here, but the fans of like Usopp, Chopper, Nami, Robin, Brook, etc. I think the way Oda has set it up, they all have at least guaranteed one really good fight, and that's against the Blackbeard Pirate. Because there's exactly 10 members of the Blackbeard Pirates and exactly 10 Straw Hats. Well, I think there's one extra of the Blackbeard Pirates because they have Aokiji, but I think Aokiji's not going to be on. He's not going to. Something's going to happen with Aokiji. I don't think he's going to still be on Blackbeard's side when it goes down. So I think for the people that want to just see the Straw Hats like fighting specifically, we got those fights to look forward to. But outside of those fights, I don't think it really matters that much. Like, I don't think we're going to get any too much extra.
Yeah.
And besides fights, we're going to see them do cool stuff. They still all have to achieve their dreams, and they're going to contribute and do their own things throughout, what's left. But
yeah, I
that's kind of
think
what I tell myself. That's my copium. I'm looking forward to those fights because I do think there will be good fights. But outside of those fights, I'm not expecting anything.
Yeah, I think in terms of like crew interactions, I would love to see more of that. But in terms of fights, maybe it's just me, but I don't mind like not always seeing every Straw Hat battle. And that's okay if you want to as well. Point is just like, hey, not too much on the Straw Hats, you know what I'm saying? Not too much on the Straw Hats. But I will tell you whose agendas are just in the mud right now, man. People, listen, agenda piece will agenda piece. After seeing Kizaru and Saturn get turned into pizzas and just tossed, bro, holy fuck. Like, that's kind of nutty. Like, if there was not a ship that caught Kizaru, that nigga is dead, chat. Like, just to let you know, like, Luffy would have killed him. Yeah.
He like blew up the ship when he hit it.
Yeah, man. Like, Luffy would have just killed the man right then and there. Like, that's ridiculous to me. It's so cool to see Luffy at this point. I'm really happy to see my goat large and in charge. And yeah,
remember, that delivery is DiGiorno.
True, bro. But also shout out Saint Jay Garcia coming back around like on some katakuri shit, looking like a donut. That was cool. And I really like just the glimpses around the world. Like, I love it when we catch up with people like from past arcs. It's cool, like, just to see their result, like where they are and stuff like that. It's really nice.
I can't wait to see what the fuck Vegapunk's about to say, because it could
That's
be.
what I'm thinking too,
Dude, it could be fucking anything. Like,
Yeah.
obviously, it's gonna have something to do with the Void Century and the Ancient Kingdom, but like,
I feel like it's gonna just have to do with like the Gorosei and like pretty much all the fucked up stuff that's happening today, because obviously, you know, like Robin's whole big thing is revealing the true history, shit like that. But I feel like it would just be like, hey, did you know the government is kind of fucked?
Because that's what I want to know. Because do you guys think in this announcement, are we as the readers going to learn anything new?
I don't think so.
Because
I mean,
the world at large doesn't know that
they don't know they're being oppressed.
Yeah, they don't know about the Void Century and all that stuff. That knowledge has been repressed. So if it's just that, it's still a massive deal because it's the beginning of the end. It's planting the seed. It's giving knowledge to the people who don't have it and then letting them kind of run wild with that knowledge. Well, the result of that's a big deal. But but also the way it's framed, I feel like Oda's setting up a big reveal. There's got to be something more.
I feel like the big reveal is going to be, I guess like the big catharsis is like somehow, some way, and this is the reason why they set up like the monitors and stuff like that. They're going to show the Gorosei. Like now that they're all here in this demon form, the world is going to be like, what? No, like there's no way the government is this fucked up. And then they get a glimpse of the Gorosei in their demon forms. They're like, what the fuck? And that's going to kick off like the great cleansing and shit like that.
It's like seeing Biden and he looks like a giant fucking werewolf or something. Like,
that's exactly it. Yes.
Hey, yo.
I never liked the guy, but oh my god.
Yeah, man. Listen, if I saw that nigga anamorph like that, yeah, I don't know. That's kind of nuts. Yeah, I feel like that adds. Yeah, that'll add a lot more validity to Vegapunk's claims and things like that. So that's where I think it's going to go.
Okay, that'd be cool.
That makes a lot of sense.
I also love how people who are seeing Vegapunk for the first time, they're like, "Damn, nigga, is that really you? Like, ugly ass man."
Do you guys think Vegapunk?
Same reaction we had.
Vegapunk himself doesn't suggest. He doesn't say anything, but because he's unconscious. But the Gorosei suggests that this is like a death switch. This is like a video that was set to be released if he died.
Mm-hmm.
So do you guys think this is confirmation that the Stella, his original body, is just dead?
Yeah, I think he's gone.
I think.
You know
I
me,
mean,
death to all Vegapunk.
Like normally it would be, but like, come on.
I don't know. I feel like
another
this is
reason why
different.
I think it is a bit more believable because, like I talked about this last week, but Oda's kind of given himself an out because there are multiple Vegapunks. So even if the Stella dies, there's still like Lilith and whoever else. He's not really dead.
Yeah,
just the original body.
I feel like it's different just because there was the whole thing of Vegapunk being like, I think I'm gonna die soon, and him setting this up. Of course, like, even in this chapter, they even show, like, this nigga is flatlined, dead. It is Jowarida.
He's got his tongue sticking out and everything, bro.
Yeah, right? Nasty-ass nigga. Put that shit away. The only thing that I think it, I'm, like, 99% sure this nigga is cooked. The only reason I have 1% left are just, like, maybe is when it's on page 5 when they're just like, "Ayo, Garcia, is that nigga gone?" He was like, "Yeah, I think." Oh fuck.
Yeah, bro.
Oh fuck.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not like fully. I would say I'm more like 60-40. 60, I think he's dead. 40, I'm like, yeah, he might still be alive.
Yeah.
I'll take that action.
Yeah,
You trying to gamble, bro?
I would. Gambling? Question mark?
You ain't gonna win no bets against the Gotcha fan, bro. I'll keep
Taco.
going until I don't have anything.
Taco, if it's you, apparently you don't have good luck, so I don't know if it's really.
Yeah,
like
exactly, bro. That's what I'm saying. I'll keep going until I'm fucking.
Oh my gosh, we won $1 billion. We can finally buy a mansion. 1 billion on red.
Hey man.
Well, why would I want
That's
1 billion if
fever.
I could have 2 billion?
Real shit. But yeah, man. I think Vegapunk, for the most part, the Stella body is gone. Of course, we still have like Lilith and stuff like that. And who's to say we could pull out some shit from Punk Records and Vegapunk's like, I am speaking from you from beyond the grave, rah! You know, some bullshit like that. So I don't know. I think his body
Upload
is
his mind
gone.
into
But
a robot.
yeah, I mean, this is not like he hasn't done it before, but
I think we pretty much covered everything for this chapter. If you
I
guys
want
wanted
to
move on.
ask,
I had
real
one-
quick,
Yeah, I had one last thing I wanted to bring up.
how do you guys
which
feel
is
about the cover story?
Okay, we're on the same page.
Yeah.
Bring up stuff. I hope, because here's the thing, right? I feel like with the way we left off Wano, I didn't really feel like there was really much else to show. Like, you know, Momo's rebuilding the country. Yamato's there to kind of protect them from outside threats because she's, you know, strong enough to fight off powerful enough people.
True.
So I was like, okay, there's only two things I can think of, and one is like a bit too early. Is, you know, Blackbeard showing up to get the ancient weapon, but with the way the cover stories don't always necessarily happen exactly at the same time as what's happening in the story itself. But I still think it'd be odd of Oda to do it that way. So I don't think it's going to be about Blackbeard.
I don't think so either. I feel like it's way too early.
And the only other thing I can think of that would matter, that we would like want to see, is what's happening with Kaido and Big Mom.
That's what I was thinking too. Yeah. I would feel I don't want to say
But at the same time,
disappointed.
it's like, why? Just let them be dead, bro. What role do they even have left to play in the fucking story at this point?
Like, I wouldn't say I'd feel like disappointed if it was just a cover story of like Yamato traveling over Wano, because I know they said they wanted to do that. Yeah, I mean, like, it's like, okay, fine, I'll take that. But I would prefer to see like what happened with Kaido and Big Mom, especially since we're going to Elbaf soon, and obviously Big Mom has ties to that. Yeah, I don't know, but I'm definitely excited to see what this cover story brings. This is really cool.
Yeah, because I think at this point, Big Mom and Kaido's roles in the story, I think it'd be better if they don't show back up, even if they're not dead.
Yeah,
I think it's better if they just don't really come back or anything. Maybe it will be something like that. Maybe it'll just be about Yamato and her like journey through Wano. Well, this is what I was going to suggest, because cover stories, they vary. They have different lengths. I don't think they're all the same length, but they go on for a long time. They go on for like a full year. They're like 35, I think, to 40-ish like chapters long.
Damn, are they usually fuck?
They're pretty long, I think.
Damn.
I could be wrong. Someone in the chat will tell me I'm wrong if I'm wrong. They go on for a while. Well, what I was going to suggest is maybe Egghead will end before the end of this cover story, and the end of this cover story will be like Yamato doing like journeying, adventuring, whatever, and like the final page is just like the final one is like Blackbeard's ship showing up to Wano. And that's how it ends or something.
God, bro, that'd be so gas.
So it's like we just see Yamato, traveling the country, meeting all the different... Because Yamato doesn't know anyone.
Yeah.
Like, all the Wano-specific characters, the fucking, side characters. So it might just be, like, her journeying to each country and, like, seeing the locations that the Straw Hats saw. And it's, like, her getting into, like, little misadventures or whatever. It doesn't have to be anything super plot relevant. And then it ends with Blackbeard showing up, and it's like, oh shit!
That's
how Oda
so
leaves it off.
fucking crazy. Holy shit!
I think that would be really cool.
Wild.
Yeah, that'd be a really good way to end it off. But yeah, this has a lot of potential to do a couple of things, man. Very excited. Very excited.
Well, I think most cover stories very commonly focus around like a very small villain, like Hachi, or fucking, what's his name? The guy from Skypiea.
You think it's gonna be about Ulti, bro?
Yeah, I mean, possibly, bro. It literally could. That's the thing. It could be about Ulti. I'd say, like, says if it's gonna be about one of the villains, or specifically the Toby Roppo, I think the most likely shot is Satsuki. What's his name? The
Sasuke. Yeah.
Because, they're underwater. Rest of them are dead.
Damn.
Or maybe Jack. I don't know if I can. Is Jack?
I was
Jack
thinking.
the Drag
I was
down.
thinking like X Drake.
X
Maybe
X Drake.
Drake.
We
Oh,
don't know what's
shit.
going on with him.
That nigga's a snitch, bro. He's a snitch.
No, not too much.
Yeah.
Not my goat.
It's definitely gonna be interesting to see, like, since we're starting with Onigashima underwater, I imagine next chapter is just gonna be like, okay, how the fuck did that happen?
Okay, yeah, it really varies. This cover story could be like 20 chapters long, or it could be like 40. Because
Yeah.
the Germa one, the last one we just got, the Germa one, was 33 chapters. And then I don't think this was the one before the Germa one, but the Grand Fleet one, where we were just seeing all of, like, Luffy's Grand Fleet, that one was 46.
Holy fuck!
So yeah, they just
Holy
vary.
shit!
They could be any
That's
fucking one.
wild.
That did
Well,
not
I
feel
think-
that long.
I think the ones about, like, you know, the Grand Fleet or like all of Luffy's friends went after the time skip. Those are going to be longer. I'm pretty sure because we're
So
focusing
there's
on
way more people. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie to you though, so the German one felt like fucking forever, so I'm not surprised that it's 33 chapters. That shit felt like fucking. That was like a whole year worth of chapters, bro.
yeah, that was a long one.
Which one was the German one? Was that the
I mean, it was during.
oh,
the
that was the one with like Mads and stuff, like Neo Mads and
It
stuff,
was
right?
still going into Egghead, right? It was still
Oh,
going.
I don't remember.
Like when we were to Egghead. Yeah, because it showed Caesar meeting Judge again, and then they realized that they shouldn't be hating each other. They should just hate Vegapunk instead.
The haters ball, man. I respect it.
I remember that's like how it ended. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's them on. It shows them escaping Whole Cake Island, and when they're escaping, they meet up with Caesar, and then Caesar goes back with them to Germa.
Yeah, and they like shake hands, I think was like the last page.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah. Hopefully this one is good, man. That's all I can ask for. Let me look through some of these comments. There are a lot. Holy fuck. Hey, we appreciate y'all for chatting it up. Thank you. Let me see. Let me look through it on YouTube, not Streamlabs. You are all aware now that Zoro's been fighting Lucci for 6 months. Holy fuck. Has it been that long?
Yeah, it's been a long time.
God damn, bro. This
Wait,
is
really?
the power of base Lucci. Holy fuck. Yo, 6 months? Zoro, wrap that shit up, yo. Wrap that shit up,
Hey
yo.
man, I already told you last week. Hey, we're still waiting for Jinbei to get there so we can tell Zoro the important information about Lucci. So then he can unlock that Zenkai boost.
That is so real, bro. That is so real. Sleeping Danger saying, if all 5 Gorosei go down this arc, then Blackbeard is guaranteed the final villain. Oh, for sure. Yeah. That's definitely
I
the
think
case.
that's if
I mean, I
that
just can't
happens.
Yeah, if that
Yeah,
happens,
like,
it's definitely the case.
I mean, I just can't see them all going down all at once like that because it feels too soon, and we've been over this. This is like
And
It's
also,
crazy
like
because
we,
oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Ty.
like we said with the Katarina getting Saturn's likeness, it's kind of just that transformation kind of becomes useless. if all the
Useless.
Gorosei-
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was my thing too, because I was like, man, if Katarina didn't get Saturn's like identity, didn't steal his fucking social security, I'd be like, man, I don't know if it's really too soon for the Gorosei to go down now since we're in the final like saga. I agree it would be fucking crazy, but I don't know about too soon. But yeah, with that in play, yeah, I don't think they're all gonna go down this arc. But my boy is gonna put on a show, man. I'm excited. Dragon is a changed man. He's not staring east anymore. He's staring west. That's real shit. As some people have pointed out, he is now staring west with a dramatic ... We need to stop kidding ourselves and pretending that non-monster trio Straw Hats have done anything post-time skip except Usopp and Dressrosa and Nami and Whole Cake Island. This is the norm. I wouldn't say it's the
This is
norm.
okay.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that at
That's
all.
wrong.
Yeah,
Say that.
I wouldn't say
No.
that at all. Actually, yeah.
I feel like you would have to pretend otherwise. Like you have to pretend like they haven't. Doing stuff.
Damn. Common sleeping danger L? No, I'm kidding. Manu
Yeah,
saying
I mean, they be doing stuff. It's not always
think it's
combat
true.
related, but they do stuff.
I think it's
Yeah.
true that they don't all do stuff every arc.
They don't
That
always
is
get
true.
fight.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
That is
Yeah.
true.
They usually in each arc, a few of the Straw Hats get some non-monster trio Straw Hats get moments that are good for them and show them being relevant.
True.
We mentioned it earlier. Brooke and Whole Cake.
Yeah, like Brooke and Whole Cake got some stuff. Sanji's a part of the trio, obviously. I mean, there's like
Plus,
Robin,
Chopper,
Jinbei,
Juicing, and
Frankie, Chopper.
Oh,
yeah.
That's another thing is I think people are conflating the idea that not doing anything is different from doing things that you didn't enjoy.
True.
That's different. Now, if you want to say Frankie's fight against Sasaki and Wano was ass, I would be inclined to agree with you. I don't like that fight. I think Frankie versus Sasaki is the worst fight in Wano.
Damn. Not even Jinbei knocking out Who's Who?
No, I think Jinbei versus Who's Who was fun. I think it could have been longer, but I enjoyed Jinbei versus Who's Who, especially the dialogue. I think the banter was a lot of fun.
True.
But Frankie versus Sasaki, I did not enjoy at all. But because I didn't enjoy it, that doesn't mean Frankie didn't do anything. He still fought. He still did stuff. Like, I wish it was better, but it is what it's the same thing with Chopper healing the Ice Oni. It's like, yeah, I think the entire subplot went on a bit too long, and I didn't really care about it. But at the same time, I wouldn't say Chopper didn't do anything.
True.
I will say one thing I don't really like about the climax of Wano is like with Chopper. I think it went too long, but at least it was something very specific to him that he can do. That feels like it feels like something tangible that he should be doing in an arc like this. Whereas I think something I don't like about that whole section of Wano is the Toby Ropo kind of just come in to give the other Straw Hats something to do, which it's a little whatever. It doesn't really like necessarily fit them. It's just like, here, have a chapter or two of something to do. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it makes sense because it's like the Yonko crew, so there's a lot of them. So it makes sense that there were members of the Yonko crew for them to fight. What I wish they had better dynamic
big time
with the Straw Hats, which is unfortunate because I think Who's Who and Jinbei, I actually do like that fight. I like their dynamic, but the rest, I like the Black Maria fight and the Robin fight, but not because Black Maria. I like it because of Robin. And then I'm not gonna fucking talk about Ultian.
Whoa, not too much.
Skip over that.
Not too much.
I love Ulti. Ulti is one of my favorite Wano characters. But I'm not gonna talk about it.
Damn, bro, damn. Let me look through some more of these. Manu saying this a Wano slander safe space on God. That's OD. Hey man, always, forever and always. Wano had a lot of ups. It also had some downs, man. A real genius has your message play on loop rather than give time for the world government to shut you down. Hey man, listen. We didn't invent that
That's
yet.
so true. Why the fuck didn't he do that?
Listen, bro, we didn't invent that yet.
Bro,
we didn't invite the fucking
I'm not gonna lie,
loop.
bro. You're a fucking genius. Why didn't he do that?
It's like the
Could you imagine
oh god.
Vegapunk doing a fucking TikTok ass loop where at the very end he's like, and that's why.
Hey man, that shit racks up views, bro. I respect that shit, man. Hey, do what you gotta do. I wish Robin was a fighter, but that's something that comes from my heart, and I've already accepted that Oda just isn't interested in it. I mean, she got one in Wano. I'm hoping she gets some more. I feel like there's still some hope for us. Hopefully.
Still fight someone.
Let me look through. Let me skip over some of these because these are a lot. Weisberg is always a treat. True. Shout out my big guy Iceberg. Let me see. Luffy saw Saint J come back spinning and got PTSD from Buzzcut Mochi. Hey man, bro got flashbacks. That's real shit. Let me see. I assume the message is Vegapunk saying Emu exists and the world government is evil, and my copium is that the name of the ancient kingdom will be revealed, since Clover was cut out when he tried to say it during Ohara. That would be cool. I would like that.
That'd be really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wet Napkin saying I'd unironically vote for Werewolf Biden. That's real shit.
I mean, I can't hate on you.
I can't
That
hate
would
on
be
it
pretty
either.
gnarly.
Let me see. It's One Piece. Oda has trained us to doubt it when characters die. So real, Manu. So fucking real.
I mean, it's the better bet at this rate, you know?
Yeah.
It's the safer gamble.
Yeah, man. Oh, God. Vegapunk's gonna wait until everyone's not looking, open an eye, then crawl off to an escape pod. World's smartest man flim-flammed everyone at the end. Hey, man. For my final trick, I shall disappear, head ass. Let me see. I feel like all of the Gorosei are not in Marijois, so Akainu would be forced to deal with the fallout alone, and he straight up explodes and becomes active in the story again. Interesting. I haven't heard that one before. Big Mom is definitely coming back. Kaido is 50-50. We'll see. I definitely agree. I think Big Mom has a better chance of returning to the story than Kaido.
Yeah, because I think Big Mom still has Elbaf stuff that's a bit unresolved.
Yeah.
Which could be an avenue for her to get back involved. But at the same time, I don't know if it's like
necessary.
Super necessary.
Yeah. Oda, don't show us Yamato. Don't add salt to an old injury. I'm still pissed about that blue balling.
That's exactly why
Fucking
Oda
preach.
fucking hates you. Oda hates his readers.
Damn.
That's exactly why he's gonna do it.
Damn, bro. Hey, then maybe that's why Yamato wasn't in the color page last week. She's getting a whole cover story.
Oda literally thought to himself, "Oh, y'all don't like Yamato? Bet I got a whole cover story."
You gonna see her top of the morning, first page every chapter. There you go. It's gonna be based as fuck. Let me see. Oh, this is for JJK. Listen, we're gonna get into that very soon. Page 1 lived up to his name. Bro showed up for one page and got one shot.
Bro, he
Hey,
got
not
knocked
too
out
much.
by Big Mom and just never got back up.
Not too much, bro. Hey, man. Not too much. Damn.
More.
And then, of course, Zero just continues being the strongest hater of today. Sailor, the old man, will forever be in a retirement home. False. Fake news. Zenith will be there with him if he continues his washed journey. Damn.
You know me.
On
a journey.
That's some real shit.
And
But anyway.
maybe y'all are washed.
Whoa. What do you mean, y'all? There is no y'all. It's just Zenith.
Bro only calls me wash because he hasn't heard of a shower, I'm guessing.
Bro's got ammo for everyone. Bro. Firing
Damn.
back.
Damn. Shots have been fired, man. How will you respond? He's saying you a pig pen ass nigga, Zero. How will you respond, bro? What are you prepared to do about it? But anyway, in the meantime, while you think of more slander, like we know you will, like we love you for, let's talk about some slander ourselves, man. Let's talk about Jujutsu Kaisen Chapter 252. Fellas, how are you feeling about this one, man?
Oh God, where are we?
How are
I'm
you?
like,
How are you feeling about this one, buddy?
yeah, how about you
How-
start us off, buddy?
Yeah, man.
Man, fuck! Okay, listen. Let's reset the calendar, chat. We gotta, tear it down. Reset the calendar to 0 days since Sukuna dick suck has ruined the ongoing plot of JJK. Reset it. Reset it. I think this is so terrible for a lot of reasons, honestly. Because, like, I listen, I'm sure we'll get into it because I feel like we rant on Sukuna so many times because God, is he fucking annoying. This is just my least favorite character in the story at this point, by the way. I'm just stamping it. I don't like Sukuna anymore, which is crazy. But I'm sure we're going to get into it. Okay, I'm sure we're going to talk about the entire history of Sukuna and this just happening again because it just happens too much. But let's just, for now, focus on just the chapter before. That was entirely framed on Sukuna needing to get off a desperation play because he was backed into a corner. He had no other choice. he had to get off the fucking Dark Cloak Dimensional Slash, okay? Somehow, he gets it off. We've already talked about how that makes zero fucking sense. And I'm sure we're going to talk about it again, because we're going to be yapping during this section, chat. I'm not going to lie. We are going to be talking our shit. At least I am. You know what I'm saying? If there's no we in this conversation, nigga, there's a me. But listen, okay? The entire last chapter was framed around Sukuna needing to get off this desperation play in order to get out of his current situation. Then we get to this chapter and we learn, Lamau, you idiot. Sukuna still hasn't even been trying yet. And not only that, he's actually super bored of you guys. Yeah, he actually doesn't really care. He's not interested in you guys at all. He hasn't gone all out yet. This is so fucking crazy. Like, I am so sick of this. Like, the best way I can put it is somewhere along the lines. And I think it's just ever since this nigga has yoinked Megumi's body, Sukuna has gone from a character that has been show, not really tell, to being a character that's all about tell rather than show. Because the manga shows me this nigga getting fucked up. The manga shows me this nigga fighting for his life. The manga shows me that this nigga is backed into a corner. His energy output is decreasing. His control over the body is plummeting. He is in dire straits. But then the manga then turns around and tells me, guys, come on now. This is Sukuna. Obviously, his output, it actually hasn't even been like, it wasn't plummeting because, you know, Yuji was directly fucking up his soul with clubbing blow after clubbing blow after clubbing blow. No. That's not why. The reason why Sukuna's output is dropping is because he just doesn't care. You know, I listen, guys, I know. I already, you know, I've been trying to make these comparisons ever since Gojo died. You guys remember him, man? Gojo did some real lasting damage. The current cast of characters, they haven't done shit, by the way. You know, like we have Higuruma. What did that guy do? I mean, come on, guys. We have Kashimo. Kashi who's that? Didn't do anything to Sukuna either. We also have, you know, Yuji and Yuta. Man, these guys are really putting the beats on Sukuna. Nah, I'm just kidding. Sukuna's actually, like, perfectly fine. You know, no problem. His output's not dropping. You know, he's fine, guys. Come on. Like, obviously, what did you guys think? Did you guys think that your heroes were making, like, any sort of headway in this encounter? Did you guys think that your heroes actually earned some leeway in this fight? Did you guys think that your heroes were actually, like, doing damage to Sukuna and these comparisons to Gojo actually mattered, and that this whole encounter of everyone coming together, combining their strength of defeating this fucking demon from the Heian era of sorcery? Did you guys think that, like, actually mattered? Lamau, you idiot. He hasn't even been trying. You guys are boring. Gojo, way better than you niggas. I don't know why I even compared y'all to him. Yeah, you guys are just gonna get cooked. Yuta, he's still alive. Don't ask me how. But, you know, he's not gonna be doing much. Yeah, I mean, you guys are just gonna do whatever until I just wave my hand and just voila, poof, you're gone, vanished. Vamonos, little nigga, onto the airport you go. It's so annoying. It's so frustrating. And listen, I could continue to go on, but fellas, I've talked enough for right now. How do you guys feel about this?
I mean, what else is there to say? I mean, I don't have much to say other than what we've all been saying for the last several weeks. It's just basically Yakutami glazing Sukuna. There's nothing else I can say.
My whole thing is, it just feels weird in how it's presented. Because it's like, okay, he's bored. He's not really feeling it. Kill them then.
That's what I'm saying, Zenith. Yes.
But if he has these other things that can end the fight, fucking use them. Use the black box. Oh, you can't? Maybe? Are you unable to? I don't know. But if you can, you should use it. If you're bored, I don't know, man. Maybe heal your heart. It's like, objectively speaking, right? On every level, he has been pushed into a corner. His reverse curse technique has been severely hindered. He has taken multiple injuries, including the ones to his heart and multiple to his soul, which he is not in the best condition to heal soul damage right now. He will be later if he has a chance to recover, but right now, not really. And it's like, yeah, it's one of those things where both things are true, where he has been entirely injured by a lot, and he is holding back. Both of those things are true. Why are both of those things true?
Yeah.
Like that's the part that gets me. If he is getting fucked up, why doesn't he win? Because he's clearly trying. He's clearly doing these little tricks, like using the rubble to cover up, like the rubble.
The chant, yeah.
To cover up his chanting in this chapter. Like, he's doing all these little tricks to try and, like, overcome the situation he's in, but also the series wants to convince me he's not getting backed into a corner at all.
Yes.
And that he just has these other moves, which, like, I know he has these other moves. Why isn't he using?
Why not? Yeah.
So weird.
It doesn't make sense.
Point?
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense. Yeah. Well, I think it's really good that you brought that up, Zenith, because I completely agree with you. And I was actually going to bring up, because I was scrolling through Twitter quite a lot this week, because I was curious to see what people were saying about this chapter specifically. And our opinions are not, I don't know if we're the majority, but a lot of people are starting to feel this. Because I think when something like this happens once, you can kind of brush it aside.
Yeah.
When it happens twice, it's like, okay, that's weird. When it happens a third and then a fourth time, it's like, well, this is a continuing trend, and I don't like it. And I think a lot of people are starting to feel that way. Maybe not to the degree Sailor feels it, but a lot of people are starting to question.
Fuck, dude.
I think a lot of people are starting to question, like what Zena said, like, why? Why is this happening this way? This doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. I've seen... So the defenders of this, the biggest defense I've seen is that they're looking at it from a semantics point of view.
I feel like it's just being obtuse.
Yes, I think what Zenith said completely addresses their point, and I think it kind of disputes it.
Yeah,
or refutes it. Because their argument is that, oh, well, what they said is he's not going all out, or he's not taking this seriously. So what that means is he hasn't used all of his techniques, which is true. So that means it's okay, because it's true. And it's like, that is true. He hasn't used all of his techniques. Why?
Like, why not? Yeah.
And I have not seen a single person respond to that, because it makes no fucking sense.
Like, why not? Yeah. Like,
yeah, why not?
Like, why not, like, just have, like, I feel like it would have been much better to see Sukuna open Black Box, like, normally after being backed into a corner, because that, without saying anything, is like, okay, we're making some headroom here. Like, Sukuna is switching his strategies. He's not just spamming the same shit over and over again. Okay, we're making progress. Like, there's a way of presenting this big, like, dramatic scene of, like, oh my god, Sukuna's gonna use some more shit, without completely shitting on your main cast again, by the way, to get across the point that, like, oh, Sukuna is just now, like, he's starting to ramp up, or he's doing something else. And I've been, the argument that I've seen, and this is what I was referring to when I said it's just people being obtuse, is when people go, well, Sukuna has been built up as the strongest sorcerer, and, you know, Gojo said he was holding back a while ago. What, did you guys not believe him? Like, we got some lore about him, you know, beating up some people in the Heian era, you know, like, are you guys surprised he's strong? And no. Nobody is surprised that Sukuna is strong. Nobody is surprised that Sukuna is a very powerful being. Again, we got all of this lore on him. I don't need you to fucking review all of this stuff for me, man. Trust me, I read it a ton myself. I get it. But the issue is Sukuna's strength in quotations is constantly taking me out of my immersion. It is constantly taking me out of the story to question, like, what the fuck is really going on. Because again, going back to the tell rather than show thing, again, Gojo fight ends and we are sat down and told how Sukuna beat him, despite the fact that Gojo had like 5 different reasons to not lose there. Then after that, you know, we have the Kashimo thing, and that's when Kashimo is like, wow, Sukuna sure is perfect. Oh, dude, he beat the Stars, Moon, and Sun Squad? What a savage, XD. Like, okay, cool. Then after that, you know, we have the Higuruma stuff, which was nice because instead of glazing Sukuna was like, damn, Higuruma, you're kind of cool, bro. That's awesome. I love that stuff. Then we have the fight, the stuff with Yuta, which was, again, a nice little change of pace because it was Sukuna thinking about why he doesn't like Yuji and stuff like that. It was really cool. And then we're brought back to reality again, where the manga just, again, tells us that Sukuna isn't going all out. It's so strange to me. Like, Sukuna's strength, like, him being strong is not a problem. It's how it's portrayed, how it's presented. And I feel like just being like, guys, it has buildup. Like, Sukuna being strong, what's the problem? When the real issue people have is that consistently, Sukuna gets checkmated, and the story always finds a way to bail this man out. This man is constantly bailed out by convenience after convenience, while then also being portrayed as like, wow, he's the strongest guy ever. Don't you guys see? It just gets very annoying, and it's very funny to me how we brought up this stuff on last podcast talking about JJK, and this is the chapter to follow it. It's literally what we said last week. Like, why bother getting invested in this story when, again, Sukuna can just, the author can literally just gaslight you and say, Sukuna's not having any issues here, guys. Like, Sukuna is fine. Why bother getting invested in this stuff? It's fucking annoying.
I think, and this is what I've really sort of come to accept about this entire thing.
Oh, did it lag out?
They cut out.
No, it's just, it's hard to put into words because there is a whole thing all the way back in, I think it's volume 0. I was actually rereading this for a video a bit ago, where at the end of volume 0, Akutami does this postscript sort of thing, you know, at the end of the volume extra, and at the end of the volume, right? And he starts talking about how when he writes something, he sort of goes into this mindset. He starts thinking about, like, oh, this would be a cool twist, or this would be a cool character. This scene would be amazing. And then he comes up with a story around that. And man, do I just kind of see that with the final arc.
I was about to say, it sure as fuck feels like it.
Because there's a lot of stuff going on here, but it doesn't all quite fit together perfectly. For example, the main emotional stake of this arc is saving Megumi. That's a big part of it. That is a big thing that they discuss in that month time skip. And so what do? They start with Gojo, who has no way to do this, and might kill him. Now that makes sense as a logical move only if you're expecting Gojo to die in that fight. Then they go ahead with the plan that actually resolves the emotional stake of their... Like, seriously, actually, going back to that makes no fucking sense as a plan if you're trying to save Megumi. And that they all agree, not all of them, obviously, Kashimo's not really in on that, but, like, most of them agree that's a thing that they want to do.
Yeah.
That doesn't make any fucking sense.
It's very strange for that.
Then you have Sukuna, who risks his life multiple times, because obviously there are multiple times throughout the fight with Gojo where if he just went all out, he could have won. He didn't adjust his domain to give it the proper properties to just sort of win a lot of the domain clashes. He took more risks to achieve what we would end up finding out would be the world-cutting slash. A move that is only a hard counter to the guy he just killed it on, which was a guy that he could have killed the whole time through other means. And that his strong dismantle is already good enough to kill most characters. Like,
it's good enough to kill anybody.
like, Yuta is at death's door right now. By the way, that slash he did last chapter should not be a world-cutting slash.
Why did he
Yuta
make it
would
a
be
world-cutting slash? Yeah.
I don't think it is, because Yuta should be dead.
No, he did the chant for the world-cutting slash. That's the world-cutting slash.
Because
Zenith, I agree. This shit is dumb.
It just doesn't make any sense.
I agree. It's so stupid because
It doesn't make it.
it's
Here's the
so
thing,
dumb.
It has to be the world's cutting slash because he fulfilled the conditions, kinda. Like his hands was fucked up, but like also. It shouldn't be because you shouldn't.
It's so stupid. And the chapter doesn't, like, not to cut you off, Zenith. We'll get back to what you were saying. But, like, the chapter this week does not even explain. Like, it's literally just like, oh, Yuta just got slashed. We'll carry him off, ooey ooey. We gotta heal him. Heal him? Nigga, that man is dead. What do you mean heal him?
Like,
what do you mean? And then, like,
is he alive?
I think it is genuinely because I brought up like last week, like, hey, his curse technique output is lowered. Maybe that will like fuck up the slash in some way. And then I was like, well, that doesn't make sense. But at the same time, I can see Akutami doing it. If that's the case, what the fuck? Like, oh my god.
World-cutting slash cannot go through someone completely because his output is lower. That means world-cutting slash, like, it's no different from his other slashes.
It's so dick. Listen, man, I feel like putting like I feel like you have to put enough force to like cut through space. I feel like that's more than like cutting through a body. Like more force needed to cut through a body. So like
it's like all of these things are cool in isolation, and I think that's how Akutami's been thinking about it. It's like, oh, this would be cool, this would be sick, oh, I want to do this, but it just doesn't fit right. It just doesn't.
It doesn't
go
chain
into
well.
A fully coherent story.
no. Yeah. And then like it's also kind of weird. Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, it just is so strange because everything's been said. Normally, if you have a fight, because having a character like Sukuna, you know, this really powerful old character that everyone has to come together to fight, that's super common. And the way it's usually done is the characters have to overcome these abilities, slowly getting the main villain to reveal more about what they can do, unlock more power until they reach their final, yada yada, whatever, and then they beat that. And it's like, as they slowly get more backed into a corner. That is standard. And I'm not saying JJK should do what is standard, but that is standard because it's basic cause and effect. It is like literally this thing happens because this thing happens. With Sukuna, you have to jump through hoops of like, oh yeah, he's getting backed into a corner. He has to do all these little tricks just to get out of this situation. Oh, but not really. He's just super injured, but also holding back, and he's really bored right now, guys. Trust me. He's so bored, and he hasn't even used all of his moves. He's not going to use them, though, because, like, I don't know, shut up.
Yeah. Like, it's so frustrating. Like, to see Sukuna, like, again, right? Like, the whole thing with Gojo is like, well, he was holding back. All right, I guess fuck the battle of the strongest, I guess. I guess, like, why in this big climactic battle would I want to see two sorcerers, like, go all out? That's stupid. But, like, I understand that. Okay, fine. He has to, like, hold back for the rest of the group. Now, now that he's fighting the rest of the group, surely he's going to go all out. And I thought that was the case when this nigga was just fucking spamming World Dismantle. Like, that was his only fucking move. I thought, like, oh, surely he's just, like, going crazy now. Obviously, he hasn't used his other techniques yet. I'm sure he's going to pull those out. You know, it was mentioned before, like, what's going to happen once he pulls out Fuga and stuff like that. Cool. Like, I'm sure he's going to bring that out. It's going to be cool. And then the chapter, again, just like, nah, actually, he's still holding back. For what? Like, what? Why?
Just kill them. Yeah,
just kill them. Like, why?
So, I completely agree with everything that's been stated by both of you so far.
Go
So I
ahead.
have nothing to add. So what I want to do is I kind of want to reframe this conversation. I want to look at it from a different angle. And I can't remember if we've ever really talked about it like this before. But let's do a thought experiment. I want you all to stick with me here.
Okay.
Let's
Okay.
for a second take this chapter and everything that's happened at face value. Let's pretend like we are invested and we do care.
Yeah.
The logical conclusion, I think, for this type of story and the way it's building up is that Sukuna being the villain, let's pretend like he will lose because he is the villain.
Yeah.
And Akutami actually does care about the main characters. This would be clear setup for a moment when they do something that surpasses his expectations and they actually defeat him.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. That in and of itself is not inherently bad. That is pretty standard. You know,
Yeah.
that's pretty normal.
True.
The reason why I'm having trouble getting to that point is this. We have witnessed these main characters that we like and we care about. We might have our criticisms of them, but I think all of us here, we like Maki, we like Yuta, we like Yuji. Even through
Love 'em.
agendas,
I
we
love
like
them.
these
Yeah.
characters. Yeah,
I
we
love them
these
all,
characters.
man. They're so great.
We have witnessed them formulate well thought out strategies and plans.
They've literally
Using-
outsmarted Sukuna. Let's not beat around the bush.
Yeah.
I don't want to bury the lead on this. They have created these very well thought out plans and have executed them literally perfectly.
Yes.
Because Sukuna himself has stated that everything they have done has gone exactly the way they planned it. They have created plan Bs, plan Cs, fucking plan Ds. They have plans within a plan. And they are using the best of their abilities. They are using their specialized techniques to the best of their abilities. If they are not capable of winning a single time over Sukuna using these well thought out strategies and the best of their abilities, what could they possibly do that would then turn the tide? Outside of a complete ass pull.
Nothing. It has to be an ass pull.
Yeah. And there's literally no other option available.
It has to be an
Like-
ass pull.
I think people are not looking forward enough.
Yeah.
Because guys, there's no good outcome.
It's
where
literally-
the fuck do we go from here?
Yeah.
It makes no fucking sense.
Like
Right?
I absolutely agree. And like I kind of understand it because obviously Weekly Shonen Jump, I am like the number one guy of just like, yeah, let's talk about these series weekly and not always on some wait and see shit because that used to happen all the time. And shout out Jay Warrior, I saw you donated. We will get to that in just a second, buddy. We appreciate it. Thank you. But I am the biggest proponent, or I'm the biggest supporter of just like, hey man, let's talk about these series weekly. It's dope. But I feel like for Sukuna fans, like, wouldn't it be cool to see like Sukuna struggle and like still like come out on top? Like, wouldn't it be cool to see like, for example, if he had like Cleave and Dismantle taken away and he was still fucking cooking, dude? Like, wouldn't that be awesome? Wouldn't it be cool to see like Sukuna like backed into a corner and he pulls out some shades like, yo, he's coming back, like, oh, this is so cool, King of the Curses type shit, instead of the plot literally bending and breaking to make sure he doesn't take any L's? Like, wouldn't that be cool? Wouldn't that be cool to see like the hero's plan like actually work, but Sukuna adjusts and like actually kicks it into another gear and like they just start going and it's this big thing? Like, wouldn't that be fun? Wouldn't it be cool to have Sukuna have like a satisfying conclusion rather than just like what's I'm imagining is going to be the most generational ass pull of this like decade? Like,
Taylor, what you're describing is a good chess match.
yeah,
What we're witnessing is Sukuna throwing the table over every time he gets put in checkmate.
yes, Absolutely.
in check. Every time he gets put in check, he fucking throws the table.
Absolutely agree.
These idiots, they don't realize that as I've eaten the pieces.
Yeah, like,
Dead ass, bro. It's literally like
Honestly,
playing.
okay.
Oh, go ahead.
Here's the thing, though. It would be so, like, we're talking all this shit. It would be so funny if, like, next chapter, you know, we get, like, Urame, like, reiterating their line where it's like, you know, he's bored. He hasn't even gone all out yet. And we just get Sukuna's internal monologue. I'm so fucked right now.
Okay, God,
Oh my
listen. Immediately take away the slander. That'd be fucking hilarious. Listen,
That'd be pretty
I would
good.
come back on this podcast the next week and be like, hey, man, this is why I'm here and he's up there. You know what I'm saying? Like, we just gotta let the professionals do what they do. I'm sorry I doubted you, Akutami, for real, for real. If that happens, hey, I'm locked the fuck in. But hey,
would
man.
go a long way.
Fucks, man, fuck.
Yeah.
It would
Sukuna
go a
then
long
journey.
way if Sukuna just acknowledged how lucky he's gotten consistently.
I just want him
Yes.
to, like, just something. I want the story to acknowledge their efforts on some level. 'Cause
Yes.
It feels
Yes.
My issue, I think, in the long term, is when there is a moment where they genuinely get one over on him, all I'm gonna be thinking is, how will Sukuna get out of this? Not
Yeah.
the satisfaction that should inherently come with that.
Yeah.
Because if you pull the rug over me too many times, I'm not gonna be satisfied once I have sure footing. I'm just gonna be waiting for the rug to get pulled again.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And like usually I would, you know, be celebrating with Sukuna being like, "Oh, damn, Maki? W Maharaga level." I'd be coming up here talking all kinds of shit. Like, "Oh my god, listen, don't ask me how she has better vision than the fucking 6 eyes, but apparently she does, like everyone else in this manga, I guess." But like, I'd be talking so much shit. "Oh my god, my tribal chief, she's the real ace in the hole, blase blah, whoop-de whoop," right? But God, bro, I can't have shit, bro.
Swear to God,
Fuck.
Gojo just stood there, man. He just saw it and stood there.
He literally just stood there despite the fact that he knew that Sukuna wasn't going all out, despite the fact that he felt like Sukuna could beat him without Maharaga. He looked at Sukuna chanting a big attack and said, "Yeah, I can tank this." Didn't
am
bother
at
to do
this
anything
point-
about it.
I am at this point completely convinced that the only reason Akutami off-screened that is because he knew if he showed it, everyone
He
would
had
hate it.
no other way to do it. I agree.
Yeah, like everyone would have been like, Akutami, that sucks.
Yeah, I
Like, it would've
absolutely
just been-
agree.
It would have been too obvious, right?
Absolutely agree. Yeah, because
Pretty
like
much.
you can say like, "Oh, well, Gojo, like he just would have thought that he could have tanked the hit because none of the other ones went through." And it's like, sure, but like look at all these other examples, right? And we can debate back and forth because we don't have that definitive evidence, but I very strongly feel that if we got that, if we saw like if Akutami, and I don't think this is gonna happen, but hey, I will eat crow if it does. If Akutami came out in the volume release, like for the final chapters of Gojo and Sukuna, and showed how Gojo lost, I guarantee you it would be bullshit. I guarantee you. I guarantee you, because he had so many different reasons to not get hit by that. Like we've mentioned before on this podcast, like I talk about so many times, or whether it be here or on Twitter, which you should go follow me, by the way. Link down below, Anime Black Man. But yeah, man, it's ridiculous how much this nigga gets bailed out time after time again. He's not like, I don't, listen, everybody has their own preferences and that's fine, but I do not understand how motherfuckers are having an aura off with Sukuna and being like, "Man, he's so cool, he has so much aura." This nigga has zero motion, chat. He is literally that kid you used to play tag with in elementary school, and they'd constantly cry and be like, "Nuh-uh, you didn't tag me," and everyone knows that you tagged them. They're like, "No, you didn't touch me though. No, you didn't touch me though. I'm still fine. Blah blah blah." That's what Sukuna is, man. Like, it's literally just Why bother getting invested when Sukuna can literally just wave his hand and be like, yeah, sorry about that. Sorry you guys got invested in these characters that you really like. But yeah, they all suck. And hey, that's okay though. It's the point that this shit disappoints you on a weekly basis because, you know, death happens in JJK. It's so frustrating.
I'm just now going through the officials for this chapter, and I think it's so funny. The moment when Maki's like, they're like looking at each other on page 16, and she's like, "Your heart, can you keep that up while battling me?" And he just says, "At the moment, I'm having no trouble at all."
Meanwhile,
like,
he's
yeah,
all
man,
like,
he's not even trying,
yeah,
man. He's fucking
literally
he's
a
chilling.
stab wound in his chest, bleeding out of both mouths, scuffed all over, trying to regen 2 of his fucking arms. I'm not even trying right now, man. I'm fine. Sure. Okay. Great. Thanks. I'm so happy. It's just constantly, man. Constantly. I have never met a character who pulls me out of this story as much as Sukuna.
Again, it would be different if he was saying that. How do I describe? Like you said, it's like if
he's putting on a face, yeah, that's different.
Yeah, it would be different if he was lying to save face.
Yes.
Or he's genuinely getting fucked up and he's losing, but he's just saying otherwise. But no, he does keep consistently getting over on them. He keeps winning. All these little confrontations, he keeps coming out on top. So it's like, not only is he saying that he's not really having any trouble, like he does just keep getting out on top. So it's like,
yeah. And we know,
stupid.
like, and I've seen people say, like, oh, well, what if it's just like Uraume glazing? And it's like, sure, it could be glazing, but it's still the truth, you know? Like, of course, like, again, Sukuna's output isn't lowered because Yuji and Yuta fucked him up in the domain or because Maki stabbed him with the soul split katana. Remember when we thought that was going to be a big deal? No, it's nothing. It's literally just because he has no interest in this fight and he's bored. It's so frustrating.
My response to the, what if it's just Uraume glazing? I would say that in a vacuum, that would be fine, but we're not in a vacuum. This is a sequence of events that keep happening over and over again.
Yes, exactly.
It's possible Uraume is just glazing, but the story is just glazing at this point.
Yeah, I was about to say, the author is using Uraume as a mouthpiece at this point. Like, it's just like, he hasn't been trying.
Also, no one knows Sukuna better. So, like...
Yeah, exactly.
We aren't given a reason to doubt them.
Yeah, It's ridiculous. Let me get to this donation real quick. Shout out Jay Warrior. Question: the difference between the world slash and his regular slash is the target, right? I mean, space being his target with the world slash. Correct. Yeah. Which means it makes zero fucking sense if Yuta is still alive. No, it shouldn't be tankable at all. Like, it doesn't matter. It's literally, it negs durability. Like, that's the whole purpose of it, but apparently Yuta isn't as fucked up as Gojo.
So
okay,
it is the reason that it is what it is because it is made to directly counter
the Infinity
Gojo.
Yeah,
it's made to kill him.
Yeah, who is dead,
and which Infinity being the best defensive ability in the entire series.
Yep,
it is an attack that is made to go directly through the best defense in the entire series. So it makes no sense that anyone else would be able to survive it.
Yeah, man.
Because it's like, well, why? Why did Gojo die?
Yeah.
Like, if fucking...
I guess, nobody, like...
my whole thing is like, is the chant the only requirement? Because that's the one thing I've seen brought up is like, well, maybe it's not. Maybe that wasn't the world's cutting slash. But also, it's just frustrating. We are this deep into the series, this deep into the fight, and we don't even know what Sukuna's curse technique is.
We're still having questions about it. And that's the craziest part. Yeah.
We don't know why Sukuna doesn't have 10 shadows, because, well, he might, but it's being speculated that he doesn't have it. Or
why?
maybe he does have it and he's not using it, even though...
That was
well,
so
he's just
funny,
so
man.
bored that
Yeah.
he doesn't want to use it.
That was
Like-
so fucking funny. Higuruma just like randomly is like, okay, so he probably lost 10 shadows in the fight against Gojo. Why the fuck do you think that?
Right? I don't...
Why do you think that?
What was the point of that line? Like, am
What
I
was the
meant to
basis
take
for that?
as... Like, am I meant to take that as just, Akutami taking over?
I genuinely do
to
think
tell
it was
us
just
that,
Akutami taking over, just like, yeah, he doesn't have it.
Or is that bullshit? The problem is, I don't know. I haven't been given any evidence on what to believe. I don't know what the exact conditions are for World Cutting Slash. I don't know if what we've been getting is World Cutting Slash or just a strong dismantle. I don't know what the conditions for the Fuga are. I
Yeah.
don't know what his curse technique is even called. Why don't we know at this point?
Yeah, it's literally
Because-
like we have people debating about like, was this the world slash? Like blah blah blah. Like I've seen like a couple of debates on Twitter with people wondering like, was that the world slash that he did last week? I mean, even when the leaks came out, when they first released, they were like Maki dodged the world dismantle, and then there were other people saying like, no, she didn't. This wasn't the world dismantle. Then that got debunked, and then there was a whole debate about that continuously like throughout the night. So like. Again, Sukuna's power just takes you out of the story and forces you to think. It literally forces you to think about how stupid this is. It takes you out of the story. It's just like, now wasn't that fucking dumb? Like, wasn't this shit goofy as hell?
My whole thing is like JJK fights are heavily built on a couple things. It's either the really dynamic action sequences that we get, like the hand-to-hand stuff, or it's the complicated interactions of abilities. And that second thing is only interesting if you understand the powers. If you don't have even a basic understanding of how the things that are happening, then it's just like, it's really hard to engage with that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think that's important, because I do think oftentimes when we talk about JJK, this is what we talk about. We talk about the powers and the abilities, because that is kind of what a lot of the series is just about.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we don't talk about that with One Piece. We don't get
Because
into
it's
the
not a
exact
big issue with the
dynamics.
fight.
Yeah, we don't get into an exact dynamics of how Luffy's abilities work, and all these inconsistencies and stuff, because that's not what it's about. That doesn't matter. With JJK, there really isn't like a whole lot else to talk about. What are we gonna fucking talk about? The brilliance of Sukuna's character? Fucking get out of here, dude.
Bro, yeah. It's so crazy, man. I don't
This
think
is
we're gonna get
really all
anything more
there
for
is to talk
Sukuna.
about.
Yeah.
And it's not as good as it could be right now.
Yeah, man. Like, I think it's frustrating because like I am so in love with Jujutsu Kaisen. I am so in love with this story, and like even with all of the bullshit, I still consider it one of my favorites. But like, I just want the story to make sense. And like being treated like a crazy person for wanting that, I don't know. It's very weird. God, man. Yeah, Sukuna just I brought it up before, but I've never run into another character that just takes me out of a story more than Sukuna. It's actually crazy. It's a feat. He truly is the strongest in that regard. But let me look through some of these comments, man. Let me look at what y'all got to say, man. Fuck. Let me see. Let me scroll through on YouTube. Almost forgot. Also, shout out to Jay Warrior again, donating, saying it's Sukuna Kaisen. That is for fucking true.
So fucking true.
That is so fucking true. Jesus Christ. Let me see. Sukuna is by all means going all out, but he's not using his full bag. God, I wish that were true, Sleeping Danger. God, I wish that were true. God, I wish that were fucking true. Gege can ride Sukuna all he wants. I'm just glad my glorious King Choso is alive and kicking. True. It's nice seeing Choso back.
Shouts out to Choso.
Yeah, shouts out to Choso. Teaching my boy Yuji how to heal.
True, that's true.
That was a cool moment in the chapter.
It was
yeah.
cool. Yeah.
Well, what was Yuji talking about calling him a bad teacher? Like,
I think
like
this is
chapters ago.
yeah, I think in most situations that like he is just a bad teacher, and now he's just like, okay, like in this moment, like he can still be a bad teacher, but like a blind squirrel still gets a nut type shit, like he's still like in this situation he's still able to there's no other way to say it, broken clock is right twice a day type shit, so
don't start getting freaky on me now.
Now wait a minute. Now wait a minute, dude. But yeah, I think this is just a situation where Choso is like, all right, I'm still pretty shit, but I can at least help you with this. Let me see. Does not mean that he was not pressed and getting plot contrived conveniences. True. It makes it seem like he's bored, and so he isn't going all out in any sense. Yeah, so frustrating. Hikari has now jinxed us. They are definitely gonna lose based off what he said in this chapter. Yeah, if previous things are anything to go off of with Yuta and Yuki, we are fucking cooked. Thanks, Hikari. Thanks, man. Really appreciate it. Jeez, there's no way we're gonna lose. Well, here we go. Let me scroll through some more of these. Oh man. Zero saying, people say, especially Sukuna, he made sure we got this one because at first it said flashlights. He was like, no, I meant fleshlights. He's standing on business. People say, especially
not meant words.
That nigga, yeah, I ain't gonna sugarcoat it. Yeah. People say especially Sukuna fleshlights. Oh my god, that's a crazy name to name fans. Say that Gojo glaze is bad, but brother, the Sukuna glazing isn't comparable to Gojo glazing. It made sense to glaze Gojo so much. Gojo was basically God. Yeah, I think Gojo glaze is much better than Sukuna glaze because at least Gojo glaze, like, at least there was some more stuff that like came out of it. And I've talked about it before, obviously with Sukuna being on top, it's very much like a self-serving thing. Like Sukuna being at the top, it's only to serve himself, which is who Sukuna is. But at the same time, it definitely presents a lot of negatives, or at least it takes away from my enjoyment of the story. Anyway, let me see. Imagine if Sukuna actually made a binding vow to sacrifice Fuga shit to omit mumbling chants and Naruto hand signs to create strong dismantle to full 6 eyes in 6 years. Listen, bro, it's been an ongoing theory that because I guess other people were like, man, Higuruma saying he lost 10 shadows is fucking random. It's been an ongoing theory that Sukuna made a binding vow to give up 10 shadows so he could get that strong dismantle off on Gojo without having to chant. And it's like, man, that is some strong copium. But I respect it. I respect the shit out of that. If only we got to see, man. If only we got to see. Let me see. Of course, he's still hiding his plot armor techniques and off-screen hockey. Let me see. Sukuna is falling into the Madara problem.
Dude, Madara never fell into the Madara problem this much.
I feel like Madara, like, at least Madara was like actually an interesting character, where Sukuna is just okay.
Oh well, definitely.
I definitely think there are times where Madara has that issue, but he's such a compelling character on his own that
I'm much more invested in Madara being cool.
You can just kind of ignore it. Like, that's what I was saying earlier, where it's like if like the Urame glazing, if that was like a one singular time thing, I could ignore it.
Yeah.
But
like it was cool, like just seeing Madara's name mentioned once, and this nigga had so much motion that the Kage were like, well, fuck, we should probably cut the bullshit and come together. Like that's cool. And we get more of who Madara is and stuff like that, whereas Sukuna, it feels so much like factory made shonen, where it's like, look at him, isn't he so great? isn't he awesome? He's so strong. Doesn't that make him cool? It's kind of poop. It's kind of poop. It's disheartening to see the way some people defend current Sukuna, man. Like, yeah, everyone wanted him to be strong, to be this wall for people to climb over, but this should all be shown and not told. Wholeheartedly agree, Manu. I wish a lot of this stuff was actually like shown and just not told to us. Like we don't have to sit down every couple of chapters to have fucking Akutami place his hand on our shoulders and be like, guys, Sukuna's still in control, please believe me. Meanwhile, Sukuna is fucking on the floor, fucked up. Akutami like, listen, don't look at that. Sukuna is he's still in control, guys, please believe me. Like, god damn, bro. Fuck, man, dude. Let me see more of these. Gosh, there's so many comments. Thank you guys so much for chatting it up with us, man. We appreciate it. Let me see. Okay. Send Higuruma after Sukuna's malfunctioning shrine is down, and then bring Gojo back and fuck that fraud. GG, story's done. Yeah, that would have been cool, but you know, it's Gojo's fight because, you know, Gojo only cared about having a good fight and not, you know, saving the rest of the world. So whatever. Why would I care about that? At least I didn't die of disease. I sure had fun. Now my students who are trapped facing off against Jujutsu Satan, who still has a ton of shit in his bag and was holding back in the fight against me. Yeah, good luck, I guess. I had fun. Cool, man. Awesome. Let me see. My headcanon is Sukuna only partly chanted the world cutting slash just to make a regular strong slash stronger. Man. We are reaching new level 0. Listen, I respect it though. Somehow post purple's hit Sukuna had more output than current Sukuna. Yeah. To be fair, he did like fully reincarnate, which I guess whatever, but what does it matter, man? He still has a gajillion cursed energy. It doesn't matter. He's still the strongest anyway. So no point in debating semantics. He's still the GOAT regardless, right? He's so cool. Let me see. Sailor really turned into a squealing pig there. Listen, man, I get worked up. This shit means something to me, man. Hey, man, I can't help it. This is how it be. Why didn't they jump Sukuna after his domain stopped working with Higuruma and Maki? She could have killed him with the Executioner Sword because Gojo would be helping them. No, listen, Twice. Gojo had to have his fight, so that's why. And Kashimo also had to have his fight, so like that's why. Let me see some more of that. I think people are too quick to go against standards, cliches, tropes, and all that nowadays. Fighting against overusing it, sure, but people, that all became common use because it fucking works. He's cooking. True, Manu, I agree. Some people be the most illiterate, damn, and say things like, "Oh, Uraume is saying that there's no narrator. Obviously, Sukuna is exerting himself quite as much as shown. Duh. What are you, dumb?" Yeah, it goes back to what we were saying before. Yeah, there's no reason to not believe that Sukuna isn't trying at this point. Like, I feel like it's kind of copium to just be like, listen, again, if we are proven wrong, and Sukuna is like, damn. I ain't gonna lie, I'm getting cooked. Like, next chapter, hey, wallahi, all slander is taken away. But I don't think that's gonna be the case.
I'm tired. I got a headache. I miss my Oraga. I want to go home. I'm gonna throw up.
Listen, man, if we get text from Sukuna next week with that exact same shit, hey, we are so fucking back. The real shonen is back, baby. But I don't know if we are. Let me see. Maki got them 6 ears. Yeah, bro. Apparently, they're better than the 6 eyes. That's just some real shit. But hey, when you're my tribal chief, you can do anything. That's some real shit right there. That's some real shit. Also, I guess like one little positive that I liked in this chapter was Maki flipping Sukuna. That was cool. You know, reminded me of the Toji moment where he did the same thing to her. So it was cool to see Maki have the strength to flip a nigga back this time. It's cool.
Yeah, that's
Let me see. It's so funny to think that the last universal highlight of JJK was Takaba versus Kenny, a fight that everyone thought they'd hate. I wouldn't say universal, but hey, I agree. Yeah, it was good. It was good. I definitely, I agree. I enjoyed them. This stuff, I absolutely agree with you there. So maybe you're not too far off, but it wasn't my favorite. Man, the fact that the manga prides itself on being all technical battle shit, nuances and mechanics, and even in this aspect it doesn't make any sense is crazy. That's true. So fucking true. Sailor is somehow hating Sukuna more than I hate All for One. It's impressive, not gonna lie. Yeah, man. That's just how it is, man. Listen, twice. You hate AFO. I hate Sukuna. I mean, I also hate AFO, but like I hate Sukuna just as much. Listen, as a very dedicated hater, I can be very multifaceted. You know, I can multitask. But you're right. I dislike Sukuna a lot, quite a lot. Which is crazy.
Love the idea of Sukuna.
Yeah,
because there's a lot of really cool ideas with his character.
Yeah,
I like, for example, the way he kind of like for example with Kashimo and Higuruma, the way he kind of like almost guides them to their death is like really interesting conceptually for a character, as he like urges them to go onward, he talks to them, he respects them, and it's like because he recognizes them, he guides them to what he would consider a proper death for them.
Yes.
But like that's not like that's not really explored all that much. It's like we're not really seeing that anymore because, you know, he's so bored with them.
Yeah, it's so boring.
It's like I said, that's one of the interesting things with Sukuna, that it's not really being, you know, there's let's see more about that. Let's see what that's doing with our main characters now. Like
no, bro,
you like
don't
things
get
about
it.
him. There's just so many things hindering him for me that
Listen, Zenith, you don't get it. He was so bored with Kashimo, he followed him into the afterlife spiritually and had a philosophical conversation with him. He's so bored with him. He's so bored with Higuruma that he tried to teach him like reverse curse technique. He's that bored with him, man. You don't get it. You don't get it, man. Clearly,
Correct.
You weren't reading the story.
Correct.
That's just how it is, man. That's how it is. Let me see. The only inconsistency is my fucking literacy, apparently. The only inconsistency we talk about in One Piece is ACOG. Bro,
That's true.
That's true.
Yeah, no,
that's facts.
The way Advanced Conquers, because I'm not calling it that.
You don't want to talk about a cock?
Correct.
That's fucked up.
The way it's presented is super inconsistent. That is one thing. Exactly. When it does come up in One Piece as something that's a problem, people rightfully complain about it.
You're goddamn right.
But you're insane to complain about it here, apparently.
Hey, man. That's just how it is. It do not make any sense. Mechanics. True. I agree. I'm trying to look through some of these. A blind squirrel still gets a nut. I'm stealing that sage wisdom from Sailor. Thank you, man. I'm so smart. Isn't that great? This is going to sound crazy, but I'm glad JJK is leaning more on the ass side than mid, because I would hate to have nothing to say. I can understand that.
Fucking goated hater, bro. That is a real fucking hating ass.
Hey, man.
That's some
man.
real shit, bro.
The hateocracy is strong.
That's some real shit right there.
I can understand that, though, you know? Like, you feel these emotions.
I agree.
Yeah,
That's
like,
really
I
funny.
definitely agree, man. Because, like, man, I would be so much more down to just be like, yeah, JJK was okay this week. All right. You know, like,
He'd be bored like Sukuna.
yeah, right? Like, oh my God, Sukuna's so relatable. I'm also bored of his bullshit. Oh my God. Sukuna, most relatable character in JJK? Philosophical
So that's a
13-hour
good
video
tweet,
coming?
bro. That's a good. I give permission. Whoever wants to steal that tweet, like, bro,
Yeah.
Sukuna's the most relatable character ever, because I'm also bored with this shit. That's a fucking hit tweet right
That's a fucking banger. Yo, listen to it. If you're out there, tweet that shit out, man. Tweet that shit out. Even if you're listening to it after the fact, tweet that shit out, yo. Next chapter, Sukuna is going to pull his secret technique that heals him to full. Trust me, I have the notes. Listen, I listen, you could just be saying, I'm just chatting, I'm just making up bullshit. I'd still believe you. Listen, Jay Warrior, you don't have to present me with the Carfax, nigga. That sounds good enough. That sounds like something you do.
Man, I just realized something. That, like, he straight up can't have 10 shadows anymore. Because that one literally it comes with free reverse curse technique.
Well, didn't he put that into Agito or no?
Yeah, but even if, you know, if Shikigami dies, it doesn't, like, die.
You're right, because totality. Yeah, but that's dumb. Yeah, that's very funny. Like, why would we do that? You know what I'm saying?
Was it an Agito?
I don't know.
The deer one.
It's been fucking 5 ever since I've read that one. I just remember.
I'm just saying, it's like, I was just thinking about that. It's like, well, I
remember Tiger Funeral was in it, and I was disappointed because I didn't know what the fuck that was, and I realized we'd never learn what it was. I'm
just bringing back an old conversation about, like, was that whole piece of dialogue accurate? It's like, probably.
True, and that's pretty true. Yeah, I agree. Let me look through these. Of fucking course, no explanation for Sukuna pulling out a new whole ass arm. Yeah, because why bother? You know, he's the strongest. You should expect this sort of stuff. You know, it'd be dumb if we expected any otherwise. That'd be boring. Sailor, what would you do if Sukuna slays your queen Maki? I fall to my knees in Walmart. Have you been keeping up? Like what else do I do? I have almost nothing left at that point, bro. If my tribal chief goes out, which, you know, I'm pretty much expecting at this point. Fuck. God, bro. I'm devastated.
I brought this up, but there's that one fucking tweet I saw where it was like it was on Maki's side, Gege's love for Toji, and then on Sukuna's side, Gege's love for Sukuna plus Gege's misogyny. Not going well for her. I don't know.
Not going well for my tribal chief, man. Listen, this shit it's an evil world we live in, man. I'm fucked. You still have Yuji Himadori. That's so true, though. That's so fucking true. That's all I have left. That may be all I have left at the end. Hold on, not too much.
Don't give him hope.
Don't kick me while I'm down, bro, please. Randall the Vandal, W username, saying don't switch up. I agree. I will not switch up. I will continue to hate. No, I'm kidding.
Switch up.
Hey, bro, I feel that. I got weak knees. I don't stand on shit either. I can agree.
Bro, I hold a very controversial position. I maintain the right to change my opinion when presented with new information.
Whoa, Taco, you're on the internet. You can't do that.
I know. It's fucking, you know,
what the fuck, but... bro? If you say something on the internet, you have to stick with it, regardless of new information that's presented to you.
Hey, man, I'm not strong enough. Sorry.
God, what a fraud.
The people who never change their minds are the real winners. You know,
that's some real shit, man. Stubborn to the grave.
I'll take the L. Don't worry, I'll take the L.
Real shit. Hey, man, at least you know. But anyway, are we ready to move on to the next chapter, man? I feel like myself slipping more and more into depression. I feel like, well, actually, no, the next chapter is even worse. Fuck. God damn it.
I know. I was wondering, Silver, could you read the chapter title for us?
Jujutsu Kaisen Chapter 156, by the way. I mean, not Jujutsu Kaisen, Chainsaw Man, yeah.
All right. Whoop, buzz, split.
Thank you.
Correct.
I just really wanted to hear you say that. Yeah, this is a fucked up chapter.
Well,
yeah,
I mean, Denji
man.
fucked up himself, so it only makes sense that it'd be a fucked up chapter.
Yeah. Shouts out, by the way, we here on this podcast predicted it. Yoshida was the first person who Denji saw. Look at us, man. We're so inspirational.
Was that something we said? I don't remember.
It was something that, well, I said it first and then we all agreed.
I don't remember, but
and then we all take the W for that. That's just something. If
you're
we
the
all
boss, bro.
if we all say an idea and one of them comes true, then we all take the W. If we are all wrong, then we don't fucking talk about it. That's just how it is, you know. That's the law of the land.
Bro.
But yeah, we were absolutely right on that. So that was very cool. But it stopped being cool after that. I ain't gonna lie. It was very sad.
Xena, this is your man's, bro. You standing by this?
I'm sorry, he's not fucking, I don't know, what, not enough aura for you?
Bro, he's not Sukuna, bro. He's getting cut up, bro. My goat Sukuna cuts other people, bro. Like, we're in a different league.
Yeah, I mean, this is... Jesus Christ.
It's so rough,
Fumiko,
man.
what the hell?
Yeah, man.
What the fuck, Fumiko?
What were you saying, Taco? Sorry.
I really like this chapter. If I had one little teensy complaint, I kind of wish... I don't know. I kind of wish the consequences of his actions weren't so immediate. I kind of would have preferred to see... Because it's like we see the buildup of his life as a person. And then he makes this big, life-changing decision where he's like, I want to be Chainsaw Man. I would have preferred if we kind of let him sit with that decision for a little bit and then realize that he fucked up. The consequences are a bit more gradual. But instead it's like, no, you fucked up. Really badly, immediately. But that's just... That's just like a pacing thing. I still like what's happening. I think this is all really good.
I mean, I think it fits perfectly. He who is kicking people in the balls dies by getting kicked in the balls.
Bro,
So-
he's not
Or
getting kicked
something
in
of
the
that
balls. He's
nature.
getting his balls fucking cut off like 30 times, bro.
It's the same principle.
I don't think that's equal. I don't think that's equal at all. I think that's a bit fucked up.
It's relatively the same.
All right,
I
man.
do. I love the panel on page 10. That's like one of my favorite Chainsaw Man panels. It's just him on the table with his fucking leg cut off. That's so... I don't know, the
shit's so
imagery of it's
creepy.
just so visceral.
So
yeah,
good.
it's just so good. I
Yeah.
really like it. How do you guys feel about Kishibe showing up at the end of the chapter to save him?
That's not Kishibe. That's my goat Goku, bro. A real nigga has finally entered the chat. God damn.
Oh shit! It's Sukuna.
Oh,
He got
fuck.
He's
He
about to
got bored
save
of the
my man.
whole horse.
Yeah.
What's the one girl's name that everyone hates now? God, I'm so
Fumiko?
glad. Yeah, I'm so
Fumiko.
glad I chose to never remember her name.
God,
Now it's
bro,
like, I don't
I'm
have
not.
Man,
Dude, I'm
I
so
had,
happy
like,
that I
I
don't
had
have to stare.
stocks in her, man. This sucks.
Listen, bro.
He sucks so
God.
Y'all are betting bad, bro.
Oh
Y'all need to
my
fucking change your
bloody hell, man. I can't believe this shit.
I still got my Barham stocks. You know, I'm waiting for him to do some cool shit. We'll see.
Yeah, man. As a former Fumiko enjoyer, as a former Fumiko investor, God, man, I'm fucking broke. My Chainsaw Man coin is in the gutter right now. I don't have anything. Holy fuck. Dude, because I brought it up before. I loved Fumiko the way that she was before, where she was just like a very jokey character, but also very sincere. And even though it didn't seem like she was all that powerful, like she still had that sincere side of her towards Denji, like basically like her being silly, but like also having these very like not serious, but like she knew when like, okay, this shit's not a game anymore. Like, guys, come on. Like I want to protect you guys. We need to get out of here. It was cool. And now she's just a fucking loser creep weirdo. It's
Yeah.
like, God damn it. You know, like,
You know,
God
Chainsaw
damn
Man
it.
characters, it's a fucking 50-50, man. It
Yeah,
really does come down to
man.
a point, but-
Like, oh my God. Like, it's one thing to just be like, haha, sayonara, so long, Naita. Good luck fighting all these people by yourself. It's another to just be like, I collect fingernails and fucking hair. She has the fucking Chainsaw Man sweater. What's this made out of? Eyelashes looking ass. Like, God, this shit is so ridiculous, man. Why, Fumiko? I loved you, bitch. I loved you.
Yeah, well, you were wrong.
Yeah, it sucks.
I knew she was trouble from the first moment I laid eyes on her.
I thought you
No,
were going to
good
make a
job,
Taylor
Silver.
Swift reference there. I was about to say, oh my God, Silver a Swiftie?
Silver is the biggest Swifty.
Mm. Real shit. I respect that.
Okay, so jokes aside, Asta's showing up. Not Asta. Asta's showing up.
That would be if
the
Chainsaw
end.
Man was good.
Yeah, well, Goku and Asta definitely would they would save them.
Yeah.
But
What about Reese,
Asa
bro?
and Yoru are showing up at the end to save him. Do you guys think they'll just kill Fumiko? What do you think? What's gonna happen to Fumiko? What do you think?
I think she's gonna get away.
Do you think she's just gonna be all right?
Yeah. I think it's just gonna be a situation, or she inherits the fucking Joestar technique. She runs off. I think that's just gonna be her thing. But yeah, I don't think Fumiko is gonna die. I mean, hey, I wouldn't be mad at it at this point because again, loser creep weirdo. But yeah, I think she'll be fine. Let me look through some of these super chats real quick. Sleeping Danger saying, lock in, chat. This is Reese coming, not that loser Asa. Real shit. That would actually be very good as well.
Legitimately, I think that would be really cool. The only reason it's I feel like it's Asa is because
it's the
it's
text,
not exactly
yeah.
subtle.
It's definitely Asa. Yeah, it's absolutely Asa. Yeah,
I would be open if it was, right?
Yeah.
I think that'd be really cool.
Yeah, that would be cool, man. I'd be down with that shit. They're gonna stick. Shout out Wet Napkin as well for the $5 donation. He says they're gonna stick the top of Denji to the bottom of Gojo and fuse them together. This is the only way to save both universes.
That's diabolical as hell. We got fucking Dr. Frankenstein in there, bro. What the fuck? Is he in there
Right.
up?
On some Gecko Mori shit, bro. Shit's crazy.
Which
All right,
half
but yeah, no,
would
it all.
Okay, go ahead, sorry.
I think chances are it's probably less Asa and more like it's actually Yoru because she still has to get her get back at Chainsaw Man.
Yeah,
so it's
if anyone's killing that bitch, it's me.
Well, I'm curious
Exactly.
because Asa and Yoru have taken a backseat for a while. I'm curious to see how their relationship has progressed because they've done a lot. Yeah, they've done a lot off screen with the fighting and everything. So I'm curious to see where they kind of stand now.
I wonder too if that was the reason why we had such a big display of Asa and Yoru's power after that whole revelation, and not so much Denji's, to show yeah, she's gonna wreck shop here, because there was a big deal of her fucking blowing the building up with just a flick of the wrist.
I'm curious what their intention is by saving him, because Yoru wants to kill him still, assumedly, but Asa allied herself with Fami, and Fami, I mean, she did all this to make Denji strong enough so that they could take out the Death Devil, right? So it's Denji is extremely important. They don't want Denji to be in the hands of public safety. So yeah, I'm wondering what it is, the exact who's kind of in control and why they're saving him.
Yeah, for sure. That'll be interesting to see. It would also be nice to if we just got a brief little flashback last chapter of I don't know, Fami and Asa and Yoru meeting up and talking about planning this whole thing out, what they're thinking about doing. Maybe we see some other characters return. I don't know.
Yeah, bro, Baron's gonna be here.
Oh, brother.
Well, that's Baron. That's him at the end of the chapter.
Brother. Listen. Keep that bum out of here. All right, we need to see some real people like Haruka, bro. That's the real goat.
Who?
Bro, don't you ever fucking say that again in your life. You know exactly who Haruka is.
I'm gonna keep it real. I don't know who the fuck you're talking about.
Bro.
I'm not even pretending. I genuinely don't know.
Bro, you don't know the goat?
No.
That's the Chainsaw Man fanboy. The guy who had the pull in his chest, and he was I'm not actually Chainsaw Man. I'm just the biggest dick eater alive. I just got this put in me.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, that's the goat right there.
Bro, you pulled that out of fucking nowhere.
Bro, I remembered his name because I thought he'd be more important. He's one of the few names I remember from Chainsaw Man Part 2. Bro, that's
really
another
dug
that's
deep in the
another
bag for that
case
one.
of me investing stocks and me being fucking broke, bro. I have nothing. I have nothing, bro. Damn. I get nothing off it, Chainsaw Man, dude. This shit's
Tragic.
crazy. Damn, bro. Fuck. But yeah, I'm really excited to see next chapter. I don't think we're on break either, right? I think we're getting right into it.
Yeah, I think so.
I think we are, right? I think we're getting right into it. True. I think we're right into the shite. Right into the shite, right?
Yep. Nope, we are not on break this week.
Bet.
That's cool.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that then. Yeah, it's going to be really cool. But overall, yeah, good chapter. It was a nice little setup. I'm excited to see Asa and Yoru cook. And hopefully they free my boy. Because god damn, Denji is going through it.
What do you think about the chapter, Xena?
Man, it's fucked up.
True, dude.
I don't know, because it's like, there's a lot we could say, theorize about. One thing that I was reminded about recently, because I saw a panel on Twitter, and it wasn't the post that made me think about this, it was about something else, but it was an old panel where it was when Yoshida was first meeting Denji in part 2, and he says that he works for an organization, which is really interesting, because here we're seeing him work for public safety, and Denji knows what public safety is. There's no reason for him to word it like that.
Ooh.
So I'm wondering what the fuck that was about. Like, was Yoshida lying the whole time, or is he lying right now?
That's a good point. I didn't even remember that. I
completely forgot about it until I saw it again.
Yeah.
Like,
Man,
that's really
you, Ty.
fucking weird.
What?
don't worry about it.
Okay.
No, don't worry about it, man.
Don't worry about it.
It's no problem. Don't worry about it. It's not.
Anyway, back to the topic at hand.
Gotcha,
Everyone.
okay.
Technical difficulties.
Oh,
Yeah,
you used the
like,
soundboard
what-
thing, huh?
What's the deal?
No.
with- I don't know what the fucking deal with that is. You
think
know,
Yoshida's just a liar? You think he just like lying?
Yoshida
I
did
wonder
look
if
like
he's
pretty
setting
sad.
up to betray public safety right now. If he really does have Denji's best interest at heart.
Yeah.
I would like that.
I'm
I would like
wondering
that
about
too.
that. I might be wrong. He might have just been lying to Denji before. But I think it is worth noting that when we last saw him in part 1, he was not working for public safety. He was contracted as, you know, like an individual. Like he was hired for the specific job in the international assassination arc. He wasn't working directly for them. So either that's still the case and there's some fuckery going on, or just off screen he did start actually just working for public safety.
Mhm.
Which
Well,
I don't know about that. The way he's looking in this chapter, he looks
I was gonna bring
genuinely,
that
like,
up, too.
fucked up over it.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. This is not the end of Yoshida's story. I think we have a lot left to see of him and where his character's going.
one
I just
thing
don't
you
know where that.
one thing you have to consider though, Zenith, is that if Yoshida does have Denji's best interests at heart and he does become Denji's friend, there's only two things that can happen. Either he betrays him later or he dies.
Okay.
So
here's the
what
thing.
you're asking for is a death sentence. You want Yoshida to die.
Better to be a power than a Fumiko.
You know what?
That
That's
is
so real.
so fucking real, bro. Holy fuck. God, how are we, man? Fumiko, how are you getting beat by the bitch who don't even shower, bro? Oh my god. Fuck. God. I can't have anything in Chainsaw Man, bro. Shout out Power though. Love Power.
Oh yeah, I totally forgot about this, but you know, someone brought it up in chat. Man, last we saw of Nahita fighting for her life, and that was a week ago.
Yeah.
She's dead, bro. It's time to move on.
It's looking rough. And the fact that like even public safety is like we don't know. I mean, granted, Yoshida is the one who said it, and we just had that whole talk about, like, maybe he's plotting some shit. But, like, I genuinely believe that they don't know, because they probably would have snatched her up since she's the control devil. But, yeah, it is not looking good for our girl, man. Jesus. Hey, I mean, it's not confirmed that she's dead. If that's confirmed later, I would not be surprised. That's all I will say. But yeah. Well, let me look through a few of these, and then we'll move on to our final one. Let me see. Sailor, your agendas always fail, bro. Don't remind me, bro. Fuck. Don't fucking remind me, man.
Bro is on to nothing, bro.
I'm just saying, going back to JJK, you want to keep Maki alive, you better stop talking shit.
Oh my god, bro. Sailor, I'm sorry, but Maki is dying next chapter. After the next, then Gege goes on a hiatus. You know, like the last time we saw sketch panels. Oh, fuck. Hopefully Akutami's okay, by the way, with those sketch panels. I'm sure they'll get touched up later, but shouts out to my guy. Hopefully you're doing well. But don't put that fucking juju on me, Cyberraptor. That's fucked up. Let me see. This Pochita just better be Fami in disguise, because if not, I'd fall to my knees in Target. Whoa, man, listen, bro. Throw on some knee pads, because that's a crazy theory. I ain't gonna lie. But I know how you feel, man. You should join me in Walmart, man. I've been here for a while. You know, this is my old stomping grounds. I can show you. You know,
the floors are more worn down, bro. They won't hurt your knees as bad.
Yeah. Well, actually, they do hurt, but you know, they're straight concrete, but you get used to it. Well, let me see. Don't worry, guys. No Bar's gonna show up next chapter. Yeah, dude, that's gonna be so awesome. Can't wait. Can't fucking wait. Let me see. I always hated Fumiko. I'll never switch up. Listen, you invested correctly, man. God, I wish that were me. Let me see. Nah, that's not Asa. That's the Queen Jessica. Shouts out to them. Let me see.
Oh God.
Let me. Bro, chat telling me to cope, bro. Not too much, bro. Not too much.
Bro, what do you think he's doing?
What?
Bro, we've been coping. That's all we do on this fucking podcast.
Not too much, bro. Fuck. Weary Exile saying my two goats, Kishibe and Yoshida, are collaborating. They will help save Denji. Bro, I actually hope so. Damn. If Nagita is dead or dies, I feel like I might just drop out of sadness for Denji. Bro, I don't blame you, man. Holy fuck. Knowing Fujimoto, I'm mentally preparing myself for Naida to be like mutilated in a dumpster. God, yeah. It's unfortunate because like that's not out of the realm of possibilities. It's fucking crazy. Let me see. Yeah, this is bad, man. This is very bad for our girl Naita. I mean, we can hope she's okay, but shit is not looking good, man. Anyway, are you fellas ready to move on to our final chapter this week?
Yep.
Yes.
All right. Final chapter of the week. Kagurabachi Chapter 23. Man, it's so crazy reading 23 after 1,109. But how do you guys feel about this chapter, man?
Real
It was a
quick,
good chapter.
I want to point out the color page is so fucking
It's
sick, dude.
so
Oh my God.
That
good.
shit's so good.
Fuck
That's a movie
me.
poster, right?
That's a
It's
movie
so
poster. Yeah,
cool.
that's literally what I thought when I saw it. I was like, that's a fucking movie poster,
It's
dude.
so
That's the best one
sick.
so far.
Yeah,
It's
man.
so good, dude.
God, yeah. He got that
I-
shit on with these color pages, man. They're awesome.
I fucking love this chapter. Well, I'm really enjoying this new villain. And the reason why I like it so much is because it's really nice that we're getting just a completely different type of villain.
Yeah.
from Sojo, because Sojo was, he was more like psychopathic deranged. He was more of like a battle-focused, battle-centric villain. I mean, there was definitely a lot of ideology involved, but it did come down to like, well, I'm gonna kill you first. I mean, it literally came down to who can kill who first. And I like this villain because he's like, I'm not gonna fight you. I hold all the cards.
Yeah.
Like literally, like you guys can't do anything to me right now. I'm completely. God, that's so sick, dude. They broke into his house, had him completely cornered, and they didn't realize that the entire time he was still on top.
Yeah.
He was aware of them the whole time. He straight up, like last chapter, he straight up went up there like, hey, leave me alone for a bit. Come back in like 10 minutes or some number.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, dude.
Knew the whole time he was fine.
It was
really cool.
It was so interesting too, because usually in situations like this, the heroes break in and the villain's like, I expected this. Now we're going to duel and I'm going to beat the fuck out of you. Yes, very much. In this situation, this guy's like, I'm not fucking fighting you. Are you crazy? I die. Like, no way, bro. But let me show y'all something real quick. Let me show y'all a reason why I'm not going to bother fighting you. And I agree, man. It's so cool having this difference in a villain where, again, he's crazy in his own sort of way, like viewing humans as replaceable and just killing them off without second thought. But at the same time, he's very powerless in this situation.
That's what I like about
more
it so
calculating.
much.
Yeah.
That's what I like about it so much is I like how he's written to be very transactional. He's a businessman.
Exactly.
I
Yes.
like it. I like that he's not really belittling them. He's not saying like, "Oh, you guys are fucking idiots because you're weak because I can kill these people and all this." He's just like, "No, well, if you can do that, but if you do, I'm going to kill these people one by one."
Yes, exactly.
Because
Really?
business-wise, it makes more sense to let them die than to give up the fucking sword. I love that, dude.
He even
That
says,
is
like,
so
when
good.
they first meet him, where he's just like, you guys should, like, I get it, like, it's cool, this is what you want, but you guys should do the right thing. You should, like, bid for it. That in itself is, like, a really good introduction to what you were saying, Taco, about how he's about his business.
He doesn't care if they have the blade. He just wants the money for it.
Yeah.
I like it because he's evil, not because he's evil. He's evil because he's just a really good businessman. And being a really good businessman comes out of the expense of his morals.
Yes.
Like, he's like, yeah, this is all monetary to me. Like, these people aren't real people. They're just things to be sold. And if it comes down to it, I'm willing to sacrifice them because the big ticket, the high dollar stuff is worth more.
That's that shit.
Yeah.
I really like that. It's really cool.
I also...
What's really
go ahead. I'm sorry.
interesting about this whole arc so far is it's kind of like a really interesting extension of Sojo as a villain, because Sojo was a physical battle to prove like the worth of these enchanted blades, what they're for, and Chihiro's ideology, like the ideology that was passed down to him from his father and like its value. And in the end, it was treated, it's like, well, that's not how it works. The value of these swords is what you give them and how you use them, and anyone can do that how they see fit. And he won that battle, but now he still has to keep going. And now that he won this physical battle, he has to deal with first government and bureaucracy, and now a ruthless businessman. There's no just cutting his way out of it. In fact, by killing this guy, he will inadvertently be sacrificing his very ideals, because he would be using his sword in a way that kills innocent people.
Yes.
Yep.
And I think what you were saying, Zenith, is very good, and it shows the contrast between Sojo and this guy, because this guy, like the entire arc with Sojo and Chihiro was all about somebody being able to determine the sword's value. You know, like, just because you are the son of the guy who created these swords, that doesn't mean that your interpretation of this art is the correct one. And Chihiro having to come to terms with that and accept the fact that there are different interpretations to things, and different people provide different viewpoints. And now we're in this arc where this enemy, he doesn't really care about like a viewpoint or anything like that, in sort of a similar way that Sojo does. But what makes him different is just like, he doesn't really have his own interpretation of the blade. He's just selling it to whoever wants it. He's just letting whoever. Exactly. Yeah. He doesn't really have a specific interpretation that he's like trying to uphold. He's just like, hey, you know, you can do whatever you want with this. It's like you were saying, it's an extension of what happened in that first arc with Sojo.
It's
really good.
Man, Kagurabachi's so fucking good.
It's really good.
It's
Yeah.
So good.
Like,
and I really like that it's like a family of criminals, and I like that the top four are the I can't remember his name, but the new character we get introduced to is like his
Haruki.
siblings.
Or Hakuri,
Haruki.
rather. Sorry, Hakuri. Yeah.
It's his siblings.
Yeah.
Because I think we can all kind of see it now. The way they're going to get out of this is Hakuri's going to be able to access the
domain expansion.
domain expansion.
Yeah.
He's just going to have to get to the point where he's capable of doing it, because right now he
Yes.
has no faith in himself. He can't do it right now, but that's their ticket. That's the way they're going to be able to achieve it, which is nice. I like that. I think that's a really good way to go around.
That's another way of Chihiro's blade saving others, because if he didn't save Hakuri, then they may have never
he
gotten
wouldn't have
into
had
his-
access.
Exactly.
Yeah, literally, the only reason he's going to be capable of coming out on top is because he's stuck by his ideals.
Yep.
And that's good.
It's
Writing,
really fucking good.
And I'm
Kagurabachi,
really
very
curious to see
good.
how fucking oh god, the girl's name, I can't remember her name. So I'm so bad at
Hiyuki.
it.
That's my
Yeah,
bitch. I
Hiyuki.
love Hiyuki.
When I'm curious to see what her role is going to be in this as well. How she's going to play into all this.
Yeah, I think I can feel it being a situation of like her witnessing the government's I don't know if stubbornness is the way to put it, but like just they're just like, hey, if these niggas die, they die, sort of thing. Because we've already seen the difference with Chihiro, where Chihiro in this chapter is like, we can't gamble with other people's lives. Like, that's unacceptable. We can't do that. And that's the reason why they were put in checkmate as soon as this chapter really began. Really before that, like you guys were saying, because he knew they were there. Whereas with the government, last chapter, I believe as well, or 2 chapters ago, I think it was last chapter, where Hiyuki brought up, like, it's the same thing where they were like, we can't, like, gamble with these people, dude. Like, lives are on the line. We have to shut this down. And the guy was like, I mean, it would be easier though, you know, and it's not like so simple as like black and white as the government's like, yeah, I don't give a fuck. We're just doing this anyway. Like, obviously there are conversations about it, but I can definitely see a line where the government's like, okay, like let's try to bid on it. And you know, whatever hijinks break out from there.
I'm wondering if the direction he'll take it is Chihiro's conflict is much more individual, where Hiyuki's is going to be much more focused on like the societal wrong of the government kind of enforcing and participating in this, because it's interesting that this man is a businessman. He's like a professional businessman, and he's committing these horrible atrocities against these people. And the government finds it much more convenient to participate with him.
Yeah. It's like, at the end of the day, why are we gathering these swords? Because you just showed me that you don't give a fuck what lives you have to trample over as long as you get this power. So what are we using this for? You know?
Yeah, if the swords are in the government's hands, are they really safe at all?
Exactly. Yeah. So I feel like that could be like Hiyuki's whole thing this arc.
That's Hiyuki's. That's what leads her to becoming an ally with Chihiro.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I would really like that.
I would love that a lot, man. I would love that a lot, dude. God. Kagurabachi, good? Question mark? Very good?
Hell yeah.
Very good? Very good, man. God, dude. Like, I wouldn't say this chapter was like super. Like, I don't have too much to say about it, but just like I walked away from this chapter just like I was just smiling, man. Like, I love the series so much.
Well, I think this chapter kind of puts a nail in the meatheads accusations because there was no fights at all in this chapter, and it's a phenomenal chapter.
It was still incredibly tense, yeah. Like, at least to me,
it's still a really good chapter. Like,
yeah,
Kagurabachi is more than just cool fights.
Yes,
right. At this point,
yes,
there's a lot more to it that's engaging.
Man. I am so invested in how this auction is going to play out. Like, obviously, we've had like chapters upon chapters. Well, not too long because obviously Kagurabachi isn't long. But like we've had a good amount of build up towards this auction, but I don't think any chapter has made me as excited for it as this one. Because truly, so much stuff could happen, and I'm really excited to see which direction the story goes.
It's going to be a lot of players involved in this auction.
Absolutely.
It's going to be really fun to see all the different.
Yeah, like there are already a lot of dynamics and, like you said, angles going into this. It's going to be some really good shit, man. Really good. But yeah, I think that's all I have to say about the chapter. Really good, though, man. It's really good stuff this week.
Yeah, I loved it.
Hell yeah. But with that all being said, fellas, I think it's time we get the fuck up out of here. So let us know down below what your favorite chapter of the week was. Doesn't have to be anything that we talked about on this podcast. It could be Blue Lock, Blue Box, Kill Blue, Grand Blue, Blue Beetle, Blue Period, Blue Exorcist. If you talk about greens, we might suplex your auntie. I don't know. But yeah. Just let us know down below how you guys felt about the chapters this week or how you felt about any other chapter. We appreciate you guys for joining us, whether it's live or after the fact. Fellas, is there anything you'd like to say to the people before we get the fuck up out of here?
Go see Dune. And thanks for watching.
Real shit. But yeah, with that all being said, goodbye. Mwah! And good.